I'm not your dungeon master, but I am your host for today as we play for the very first time. I love the core. And we have the creator Chris with us, who's just figuring out the cameras and stuff. But we figured we'd go live and say hi to you guys and see what you're up to and meet the rest of the cast for today. Next to me, I have a Sydney. How are you, Sydney?
I'm good. Things are good.
Things are good. Excellent. Excellent. I need to tilt this camera down, actually. I had it for my height, but I need to accommodate for yours as well, your lesser height. And also with me today, I have the Eeyore of Encounter Roleplay, Mike. How's it going, Mike? It's going somewhere. We don't know where it's going. We'll figure out. You like it? Well, at the end of this, you're going to love it. By the end of this session, Mike, you will absolutely adore the chorus. You're going to love. Indeed, indeed. And also, we have with us Tall School. How's it going, Tall School?
Doing good. How are you guys doing? Just getting ready to go kill some aliens and, join the Corps, man.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm excited for. So we're playing pre-generated characters today, and Chris will be leading us through the game. It's called Collision, which is pretty exciting. So we are looking forward to. Oh, we have a Chris with us. Let me unmute there, Chris. How's it going, Chris?
About that. The reason why the video wasn't working was because we had another video thing open to test it earlier and didn't realise. So sorry about that. I've actually been sat here for an hour waiting to go, literally watching the time, and then I'm like, why isn't it working? And then
you have.
I'm sorry about that. I was actually prepared. It is past midnight here, so please
got quite
any flaky brain. So.
You've got an amazing setup there, Chris. I like your little.
Thank you.
And the hand.
This was actually a birthday present by some people who've just finished a campaign of several months with me. In fact, they played 2, and they decided to get me that as a birthday present. So I figured, I'm going to slap that on the desk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're doing today and about your game?
Okay. So I Love the Core is a science fiction action horror role-playing game. It's very much designed to kind of emulate Starship Troopers, Aliens, Pitch Black, Predator, that kind of thing. A bunch of Marines facing various horrific terrors in space, usually. I currently have a Kickstarter going. I beat the goal in about 4 days for it, which was really good. But I've done really well off of very generous friends. And now I would like to kind of hit a stretch goal or 2 to get more art into the book. So that's the current project at the moment. So I'm just frantically running games and trying to spread it to people. So the general setting concept is it's set in 2450. The idea is that the Earth died in some means 250 years ago. The actual result of that is up to each individual GM. You could kind of use that to craft your plot. So I often go for, and I will for this game, it doesn't really matter too much, but I usually go for a plague spread across the Earth and gave most people psychic powers and sent everybody mad. That's the one I often go for, but there are many other different options. I've just started a campaign tonight where we did World War III was the beginning. So the general idea is that the United Colonial Marine Corps served the Colonial Dominion. The Colonial Dominion make up most of human colonies, but not all. Anyone that isn't part of the Dominion is generally known either, well, they're considered independent if they've got something worthy of trade, and if they haven't, they're generally considered filthy rebels. So also rebel is code for anything that is something command wants you to fight. So you'll be quite often told to go and deal with rebel activity and realize it's something different. Aliens, well, there are one alien species that the Corps recognizes called the Drogan. The Drogan are our friends. They trade with plasma technology. The Corps wants you to like the Drogan citizens. As for other sentient aliens, they do not exist. And anything to the contrary will be immediately refuted. So the general spiel of I Love the Core is you dealing with threats that, as far as you're aware, don't actually exist. and then it's quite often about trying to kick ass, survive, and then also cover up a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's the general sort of spiel of the game. It's a horror game, but also a sci-fi game, and also an ass-kicking action game. You can do very psychological horror. Tonight I'm going to go for more of the ass-kicking variety. There will also be quite gross, hideous graphic descriptions, so I'm just going to put that in there now.
Warning now.
It will be over-the-top grossness. It probably won't be particularly scary grossness. We'll see how it goes. Last time I ran this game, I had 2 10-year-old kids, and they liked it, so there you go. All the adults were grossed out, and all the adults were just cringing, and the kids were grinning from ear to ear, so that's kind of gross.
Well, I played with Mike a lot, and he is a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, I was
so.
about to say, you got a group of 10-year-olds. We're ready.
Yes.
Cool.
So before we dive into everything, I'll drop a link again for you guys if you want to go check out the Kickstarter. If you want to support it, you can find it there, and of course you can watch us through and learn the game as we go to see if it's something that you'll be interested in supporting. Also, if you're new to the channel, you can just hit that follow button and join us. We're here 5 nights a week, 10 shows a week, 150 hours every single month, playing all sorts of tabletop role-playing games such as this. And also, here's a tweet for you guys to retweet. And when you hit 20 retweets, you guys will decide what happens next in our story. I think, Mike, the follower thingy, goalie thingy, which I didn't mention before, but I think we hit about 24 out of 30. So we're looking for another 6 followers, and then we'll have one of those all-encumbering viewer decision where you guys will throw some madness into the mix. Of course, you can donate to affect the game. You can give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges. What's up, Courtney? How's it going? And all sorts of other stuff. So, other than that, though, I think it's an excellent time for us to dive into the action and embrace the core.
Okie dokie.
Take us away.
So, when I do one-shot games of I Love the Core, I always do describe them in the style of the film. There will be opening credits, end credits, cuts, zooms. If you wish to join in with the descriptions and have dramatic slow-motion bullets, go ahead. That's generally the way I like to do things. The game is actually split into stories, which split into scenes and beats, so it's actually designed in its mechanics to kind of represent a film or a TV series as well. So that's the way I'm going to describe it. As to what characters everybody's playing, we'll give you the opportunities to introduce those in the film style as we go. And we'll just leap into it, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah.
Excellent, very good. Right, let's get myself some dramatic intro music. Courtesy of the jukebox. Right. Okay. Sorry, I'm very new to this whole Roll20 thing. Right, there we go.
All right.
Is that too loud? Should I turn that down?
I think Mike should be able to control it on his end, so it should be fine.
Okay, very cool. Right, so the film will begin with the shot that you often see at the start of any sci-fi film. A shot of space, stars, distantly glistening. We cut to show as a big, huge, massive grey hulk of a ship slowly skims into view in that really slow, soundless alien style, as on the side of the ship says UCMC, and then below that Heracles. They will then, over the sound of the music, with the sound of the camera will then cut inside the ship as we cut into a white hemispherical room. In the room there are medical staff dressed in white smocks, white masks, head covers, bustling about frantically as there is the siren going on in the background. Also a sound of alert, alert. All Marines be awakened from stasis. All Marines, please report to the armory immediately. UCMC Heracles approaching. New start colony. Rebel activity reporting. Repeating. All Marines, please report to armory. Then report to dropships. And then the message will continue as the camera will zoom round to show a room where there are 4 pods laid out in a circle, white like the rest of the room. As the medical staff come over to each pod, and the pods will begin to open as the dry ice begins to seep out from each pod. At which point, who would like to describe their character first as they rise out of this pod with nothing but like a medical smock on them? So who would like to describe their character first?
That's how I usually go, you know.
Okay.
I'll dive in. So I'm gonna grab one of these sheets here, and I'm gonna play Boomerang,
Excellent.
who is actually Frank Henderson, corporal, and I'm a heavy ordnance specialist engineer. He is a really big, decked out dude, and I've also can I have like a bionic eye?
Yeah, for flavor and cool, you can have a bionic eye. That's fine.
Yeah, I've got a little bionic eye which kind of swivels and whirs towards everyone, and I've got a big neck beard on as I come out of my smock.
Excellent. Right. As you come on, the camera sort of rotates around as the doctor comes over, jams a stim into you, takes some readings, and go, Did you have a good sleep, Private? Tapping away into the combat.
The sleep was adequate. Thank you.
Excellent, Marine. All your vitals check out. Please wait for the rest of your squad. You know the drill.
Well, that is encouraging.
Of course it's encouraging. We're in the core. As she strides past you.
Time to kick some rebel ass.
Oh yes. Give him help from me, Private. Make sure you save him a bullet with my name on it.
All right then.
She gives you a salute, carries on. Yeah, that's
10
it.
seconds in, I break mic.
Excellent. Right. As the camera continues to pan on round in a circle around the circle of pods, who would like to describe their character next?
So the pod opens and steam rises out, and you can hear like the sound of cracking bones as what the hell is this guy's name? Sergeant something or other. Sergeant Corporal. He steps out of there and he looks over as he cracks his neck to Corporal and he says, "Relax there, Corporal High Speed. We'll get this mission done back in these pods in no time."
Excellent. Member of the side staff will sort of come over to you and again beaver about, take lots of notes, jam you with a few stims. Everything all right there, Corporal? Flashes light. Sorry, Sergeant. It's little flashes of light into your eyes.
It's all right, Doc. We all make mistakes. Everything's fine.
I'm sorry. I just came out of sleep myself a few minutes ago. Beaver's about. Jams herself with some stims and goes, "Oh, right. I'm feeling alert. Thank you, Sergeant. Give him hell." Continues on. Right. Who would? The camera rotates around. The next Marine is already out of the pod and already getting their vitals taken. Who would like to describe themselves next?
Pod opens up. Very tall, lanky but well built guy gets out. It's Private Tajuma, Axe. He is missing one hand, but is. We're here. What are we to do? What's our mission?
I don't know. You'll just have to report to the armory and then report to the dropship, and the general will give your orders on the way. All I know is that we're approaching a new start. They've reported rebel activities. As for further information, you'll just have to wait to find out, Private.
Give me my shots. Let's get this business done with.
There you are. As she passes you, jams a shot into your arm and then passes over 2 pills. There's your usual Private. Should keep you feeling frosty.
Of course.
Give him hell. That check continues on. And then the camera cuts around to the final Marine.
Okay. Well, let me describe. So I've come up with this. His name is Dennis, and Dennis has somehow been thrown into this. He didn't really want it. He's really scrawny and a very effeminate boy who's really not fitting for the situation, and he's very very nervous about what he's being thrown into. But I feel like he had a really harsh father, and he just wants to make him proud or something like that. That's his backstory. So you pan over to Dennis and you see Dennis like nervously like biting on his nails and like heavy breathing and like vicious sweat pouring down his face.
Excellent. Several lab techs will come over to you and go, yeah, also come over. Private, you definitely look like you need some stims. Raise your arms, please. Do you raise your arms as instructed?
Oh, sure. And you see like his hands are like shaking really, really, really hard.
One lab tech comes over, then another one comes over, and two of them grab your arm, and another one comes over and jams the stims into your arm.
Dennis goes, ah!
You should just feel the effects in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Better? Signs of light into your eyes.
Fine.
Okay. Sergeant, you might want to keep an eye on this one. The readings are a little off. Give him hell, Marine! And remember, the enemy is in front of you.
It's okay, Marine. It's okay.
Excellent. And with that, the camera cuts as the first little scene ends. We then cut as the squad are making their way on the corridor as they go dressed still in their white smocks, marching down the corridor as they enter the armory, where there already is some other squads grabbing all their gear. Now, all the Marines in the United Colonial Marine Corps have magnetic gear, so you have a set of armor, and then your weaponry and other gear has a signature which links to it, so you basically just slap your gear right on. So there's no webbing or bandoliers. Ammo clips just go straight onto your armor. So at this point, we have the cool rapid gearing up montage. So this is the bit where you get to kind of describe what cool iconic gear your character has, and also any cool poses and other bits of dialogue you want to do. So we'll go back to Boomerang.
Yes. I flex as I put on my blast armor, and I like swivel on my bionic guy again. And maybe I had a little attachment to bionic guy, so it's got like a laser sight. So I'm like Deadshot. And he's got what should we say? Oh, I guess like I've got like packs of explosives, which I put onto my back. Which I can kind of like rip them off as grenades and stuff, but like a bandolier which just like sticks onto my body. And I say, I'm pretty armed and dangerous right now, as I flex one of my. I'm gonna say I've got like an extra little weird bionic arm which comes out. So I've got like my normal arm, and I've got like an extra bionic arm which fires a gun on my on my arm. So I'm like a futuristic Assassin's Creed dude, and I continue to flex.
You have added descriptive cybernetics. There are also statistic cybernetics, but in your case, it's just called descriptives. So
it's just shit. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
Also, I have a flamethrower.
Yeah. And the final thing you also have is your character does also have some turret drones, which you basically have cases for that mag onto your back.
Nice.
So the final bit is some techs sort of come over and go, I kind of like bow before you almost with these cases and go, don't forget these, sir. As one guy passes
I never forget.
As they come along and lock these cases onto your back one. Then the camera cuts on. So we're going to cut to Sergeant Corba, aka Spear. So please do your cool gearing up montage.
Yeah, so Sergeant Corba is, he's dressed more traditional. He's pulling on his boots, and the first piece of gear he puts on is he rummages through the top of his locker that just says K on the top of it, and you hear sk, 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 and then you see a light come out of his locker as he lights up a big cigar that he's chewing on before he straps on his flak vest and says, Corba, you got a lot of stuff there. You sure we're gonna need all that?
We're gonna need more of it, actually.
Sergeant Cobra reaches into a locker, grabs his assault rifle, and says, all right, well, you do what you can with that. I got this.
Okay, Marine.
The cheese, I love it. Right, okay. As then the camera cuts over to okay, Marine, and then cuts over to Danjuma, who's gearing up.
Danjuma rolls his eyes at both of them, being a little bit taller than them, and just kind of shakes his head at the guns, pulls out his big thermobladed sword, gets it, locks on his sword, pulls out his plasma. All right, let me read what I got. Pulls out his plasma charges, puts them across, demolition charges, contact mines. You know, they can all stay at range. He's all business up close. So he just kind of rolls his eyes at the stand back guys, because he knows who's up front and center of all this. So takes his stump on the one hand and just kind of, cleans off the blade of the thermal blade.
Cool. As a brief moment as he gets the thermo blade, as a tech sort of comes over and goes, "Sir, can I just test your thermo blade, please?" Reaches over as you just put it onto your back and clicks it, just for the audience to see what it is as they click the hilt. As though you see this seemingly ordinary looking blade with lots of technological gubbins attached to the hilt, as then this heat just flows up the blade all the way to the top through like a little bar that rises up in the middle as it just starts to glow and smoke. "Oh, looking good. Burn some fucking rebels for me." Clicks off the hilt and then slams it back in.
Don't I always?
Excellent. And then finally, we cut to Dennis. Dennis, please give us your appropriate gear up montage.
So I guess Dennis will get a shield. I feel like he's very defensive, not very attacking, and he picks up a gun and he's obviously holding it the wrong way and shaking. His hands are sweating and it's slipping out, and someone comes over and turns it back the other way and pats him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Silly me."
Somebody even has to come on and grab your mag shield and teach you how to shrink, because it's a big, massive magnetic riot shield, but it shrinks down and locks onto your armor. Somebody just let me handle that for you. Punches the locks onto your arm. Okay, you ready to go? This one's a bit twitchy. Oh, at least the camera then cuts to show the medic symbol on the side and goes, "Oh, you're the medic. Oh, okay. Oh, God." The technician just looks over at the sergeant and goes, "Just make sure nobody gets shot, okay?" "All right, Marines, you need to report to the dropship bay ASAP."
You walk out, she's like, "Short timer on deck."
And with that cool line, we will cut the scene there. Right, so we'll cut to the squad as you're making your way, marching down the corridor, big white corridor, as there are squad after squad after squad, a whole infantry battalion. You're basically the guys to come last out of cryo, as you're in this big line of people who are making their way down to a hyperlift, to then make your way down to the dropship bay area. Sergeant, would you like to give any inspiring words to your squad as you are waiting in line to get to the dropship?
Yeah, he looks over at Boomerang, who is head to toe guns. He looks over at Private Danjuma and Private Johansson and looks at them. One has a shield, one has a sword, and he just looks at them and says, "He's lasted a while. Don't die." And then he walks through them towards the rest of the squads.
That is exactly how Corvo would give a speech. I love it. Speech. As the camera sort of continues on as you make your way one after one, each squad appears. Right. You suddenly get the kind of female voice that you've had interrupting giving the constant klaxon call, telling you all to go to the ships, ceases as another voice appears over the comms. "Hey, Marines, this is Commander McGregor. We're approaching New Start Colony now. Everybody needs to report to their dropships. All we know is that the planet has been compromised. All the ships in orbit, something's attacked. We don't know, somebody's infiltrated the colony, infiltrated the ships.
Do you think it's
intel. Distress calls are stopped. We need to head in there and smash the fuck out of those rebels. Are we clear, Marines?"
Yeah.
Going up, sir! Will come out from all the squads making their way down the corridor. Right, everyone report to your dropships. Further orders will be given when I have them. Keep safe. Keep the squad safe. And remember, love the core. most importantly, hate your enemies. Save a bullet for me, Marines. Commander McGregor, out. And that will cut out over the and then we'll go back to the as we then cut to you guys as you are the last squad, as all the other squads have headed down in the hyperlift. You guys cram in this cylindrical lift, sort of silvery steel all over you as you descend down, as the inspiring military snare drum music will play in the background as you make your way down. Is there any squad banter you wish to have at this moment?
Yeah. I say to Dennis, Dennis, are you feeling ready to kill your first rebel scum?
Dennis like turns to you and his helmet is obviously too big, so like it takes a second to like turn and like knocks his head back a little bit and he's like, yeah. And he like doesn't know how to like talk to the bros, so he like beats on his breast. Do they have breastplate? Do we have breastplates? I imagine.
Yeah.
I do. So he like beats on it and he's like, yes, bro.
So yeah, the armor types we have. So we have battle armor, which is like standard issue, which is like a torso plating, and you have arm plating, leg plate, which all max together and covers your entire body. Then we have shell armor, which is light armor. It's not like bulletproof, but it's like for light armor for like scouts. It's like slash and punching proof basically. Then you have blast armor, which Henderson is wearing, which is the big freaking heavy duty stuff, which can take bombs and fire to some degree more than other armor. It's basically designed for heavy weapons experts, engineers, bomb disposal, that kind of thing. I believe Dan Juma's the one who's got shell armor, which is for rapid movement. And there's also contact armor, which is like environment armor, which is only ballistic resistant, but it instantly seals if it gets punctured. So I believe out of this squad we've got battle armor, blast armor, and shell armor currently. But yeah, everybody all has like similar helmets. Your helmets have got visors which will slam down entirely, or you can leave the visors raised, up to you. And if you need to lock your helmet, it has an emergency oxygen supply of an hour in it. Otherwise you are in a cruiser, so should you need to find more oxygen supplies, you probably will be able to. Everybody's visor has a heads-up display, so it's a bit like a first-person shooter from your character perspective, as in you can see your own vitals, you can see the squad's vitals, you can communicate via radio with the rest of the squad. You can also communicate privately with each other, so if you wish to send each other private messages, communicate, you massively type messages to each other, you can do that in character. So if you don't like somebody in the squad and want to mouth off against them, you can do that. You can also have videos and music playing in your helmet. So if you think it's appropriate in the movie for there to be a cool sound, a cool song playing, obviously you can't play that, but for copyright reasons. But if you want to descriptively go, this AC/DC track is playing right now in my character's head, that's fine. And otherwise, you can have videos and things playing. So if your character might amuse themselves with finding cats playing in one of their visors if they kill rebels, also acceptable. Generally, any music from this century is generally referred to as classical music. This includes heavy metal, and that's generally what the core like most of might get into. That's not officially in the books, that's just what I like to do. That kind of gives you an idea of the style. And you can basically operate your helmet controls via a wrist pad that you have connected to your armor. And also that's how, if you wish to deactivate your magnetics, you can do it that way as well. And there we go.
I'm going to send Spear a message and I say, look out for those camping noobs.
So the message plays. You can see him chewing on his cigar. He rotates it from one side of his mouth to the other. Looks over at Johansson. Looks back to Henderson. And he says, "Corporal, the FNG is your problem. What I mean is, when he dies, you do the paperwork."
I don't like paper.
Yeah. Neither do I. One of us has to write it.
Well, I'm gonna be the guy cutting down the tree to make your piece of paper, Sergeant Corber.
And at that point, it hits the bomb. As the doors open, as you look out into a massive dropship bay. It is like several hundred feet across. You can see dropship after dropship all in lines. You can see squad after squad heading all to their dropships. Your dropship's kind of like at the other end of the bay, and you're like right at this end. So you guys are just like trekking ahead. You see most of the other squads have already got into their ships. You can just see row after row of ships waiting above these airlocks, which are set into the floor, ready to release the dropships downwards so they can shoot down at the planet. When I shoot down, you travel downwards. So you guys are just heading into the bay, as then suddenly you hear, warning, warning, hyperspace drift detected, warning, warning, suddenly comes out, and then suddenly the red klaxons suddenly start to flash more brightly and wildly as the entire chamber is lit up with red. You suddenly see some confusion from some of the Marines as they're heading forward. Now, you don't open hyperspace rifts near planets. Your ship has traveled probably for like at least a few hours, if not a day, to get to this planet, because it's highly unsafe to open hyperspace portals near planets. As you hear this warning, the entire chamber and the entire ship, in fact, shakes. Then suddenly all of the power goes out, all the lights turn off, and you're all flung right onto the floor, onto the ground. There are magnetic rungs on the ground, which you can kind of like grab onto as you're flung forwards, as everything is plunged into pitch black, as you then hear the horrendous tearing of metal, as you just hear the sound of something bursting out through the floor, probably about 100 foot in front of you at most, as the entire floor, like most of the hangar floor, sort of tears open, and you see some massive shape, even in the darkness, rip up through the floor, as the dropships that were scattered across the bay are mostly torn asunder, blown to pieces, as you just see flying bits of shrapnel, metal, and fire explode around you as just pieces of hot metal rain down. And then you hear the sound of decompression as the air suddenly starts to rush out in front of you through this gap. As the film will pan back behind the squad as they drag themselves to their feet. There are a few other squads left, but you've just seen about, probably several dozen squads and dropships just get totaled in one blow, as this somehow, as the camera pans back, as you see what looks like a gigantic metallic pillar almost piercing through the ship. As then Marines will turn on their lights on their helmets. You've got camera and light in your helmet as the lights stretch forward, as they illuminate the side of this ship, which it does look like some kind of massive trade cruiser has punched through the side of your ship. Before you can even react and drag yourselves to your feet, the ship shakes again. You hear one distant explosion possibly towards the front of the ship, and one towards the rear, as the entire ship just continues to shake and explode, and you just hear the sounds, screams from Marines around panicking, as this continues on for about 10-15 seconds of just clinging onto the floor. And it's at that point where the artificial gravity disappears. Before we continue in character, this will be the first bit of rules for the game. So Isle of the Core has horrors, because it's a sci-fi horror action game. Now, you can suffer horrible fear from finding horrible aliens. You can also suffer horrible fear from general horrors of warfare, like having just seen your entire battalion wiped in one foul swoop by something. So this will be a case of the shock and awe horror. Now, on your character sheets, you have got a background on the top left. It will have 3 background elements. Some characters are immune to shock and awe. So Henderson, I've got written on my sheet here, is fine. Every character has 2 immunities and 1 vulnerability. So there are 8 horrors, 5 of them affect you normally, and the other 2, there are 2 that don't do anything to you based on your background. So, for example, if you're playing a horrible murderer, you're probably immune to shock and awe. It's just a given. And then you have 1 thing that you're vulnerable to. So Henderson will be absolutely fine. Then
Don't worry, guys, I'm fine.
Yeah, Sarge is fine. Appropriately, it's the twitchy rookie and Danjuma will be somewhat effective, but neither are vulnerable to shock and awe. So during the game, you can use your core stats abilities to oppose horrors. But if you're caught by surprise and haven't had a chance to use any horrors yet, then there will just be some degree of psychological effect. But later on, this is just because this is a shocking moment for characters, but as the game goes on, you'll be able to use abilities to oppose horrors. So Chutzpah, which is your charisma and force of personality, is one thing you can use to oppose horrors by telling jokes, just giving cheesy one-liners, or being generally inspiring and motivating. Or Sentry Duty, which is your perception of it and your intuition, so you can be less freaked out by things because you're kind of expecting danger. So in this case, I'm just going to give minor psychological effects to let me see, the rookie and to Bayonet. Axe. Yes.
Rip things.
So, okay. Let me work that out. So it'll be 9 minus Stay Frosty. So you all have like a Stay Frosty score, so this will reduce the effects. So the effect is 9. Now, so is the rookie, are you playing Kaba, or is it, that's the right one, isn't it? Yeah. So that'll be, so you take, Kaba will take a psychological effect of 6 to the character, and then Axe takes a 7. So currently, your roleplay wise perfectly fine. But once those numbers start to match one of your freaking out or your losing it statuses, that's when your character might start to roleplay reactions and get penalties. So yeah, that's the current state of play. So yeah, feel free to roleplay appropriately, and then we will begin the first narrative scene proper of the game.
Nice.
So yeah, the massive ship has just smashed through yours, at which point I'm going to go to the first map on the Roll20. Just give me a moment.
No worries. So I guess I'm like, can't shake me. How you feeling, Dennis?
Dennis is like fumbling around with his equipment, trying to like find his find like some calming music to listen to try and like chill him out. So suddenly like you hear like a faint flute and like you gather that it is My Heart Will Go On, and Dennis is just like holding his helmet to his head and rocking back and forth and like humming like the
I think he's fine, guys. I think Dennis is fine. We're gonna be alright, kid.
So we're in like a destroyed spaceship, essentially, just kind of free floating.
Yeah. So you're in the dropship bay, and yeah, you've just seen this. All you can see is this massive shadow of this ship, which seems to have kind of like burst out like in front of you. You are clear, and there is like a squad of. You can see 2 other squads of Marines in visibility range. That are currently physically fine, but you can see them squabbling among each other as to what to do next.
Okay, and we're kind of free floating, right? Because there's no gravity.
There you are indeed free floating, as there is no gravity. So there are mag rungs around that you can try and grab. So this will be probably the point of you maybe using the first abilities in the scene if you wish to stop yourselves floating away.
Yeah, I think Sergeant Corporal will try to steady himself.
Okay. So in this case, you have 2 different options with using ability. So a narrative scene splits into 3 beats, and in a beat you can use a passive and an active ability. So passive ability are noted on your sheets as to what the total is in a narrative scene. So that's just a static total. You can increase it with bonuses, and it may go down with penalties, but otherwise it will remain the same. So if you have a ability score of 3 or 4, that will give you a passive total of 6 or 7, which is usually which will be perfectly reliable for this. In fact, yeah, if you've got a passive like 5 or above, that will be perfectly
in which
fine
skill?
to grab on stuff. So you could use Powerhouse, Freaking Ninja, or Drop and Give Me 50 to like grab stuff.
Yeah. So I have a 4 in Powerhouse, so I have a +7 for narrative scenes. So,
Okay, that's cool. Then yeah, you can use your for your 7 total with Powerhouse to grab onto a mag rung easily.
Yeah,
now,
so
you've got several success levels, so if you like, you can grab your other 3 squad members and you can grab onto them or help them grab onto mag rungs if you wish to do that as part of your...
No, he kind of like kicks off the wall and like grabs one of these rungs, and then he looks to the corporal and he says, "Corporal, unfuck that private." And he pulls out his comms. And he says, "Command, this is Warriors. Command, this is Warriors."
This is command. We've been hit. I repeat, we've been hit by two vessels. 3. We've lost the rear of the ship. I repeat, we have lost engines. We have lost direction. We are drifting. There are 2 cruisers. I repeat, 2 cruisers embedded in the hull. We thought we lost you, Marines. Is the dropship bay compromised?
Goddamn right, the dropship's compromised. I'm looking at one of these cruisers right
We
now.
thought you were all fucking dead. We need you to get to escape pods now, I repeat. No, change those orders. We have a second breach. Need a breach in the crew section. We need you to report to the breach immediately.
Sounds like they've got a lot of breaches right now, Sergeant.
We have 2 breaches. One in the dropship bay, as I'm sure you're fully aware. There is another breach in between you and the bridge.
Sounds like they've got 2 breaches. One breached on the other side of the breach, in between our own breach.
Boomerang, you hold on to your own breachers.
We need Marines to report to the bridge. Repeat, we have no Marines here. We need defense. There may be hostiles. We repeat, there may be hostiles.
So I'm seeing that they want us to go to crew and to bridge, 2 different places.
Indeed. Your mission is to see if you can head to the bridge and see if you can relieve them from whatever danger, or help them evacuate otherwise.
I say we either get the drop pods and escape, or go to the breaches like that guy kept saying.
So he takes his radio and he says, "Command, this is Warriors out." And he hangs up, and then he looks to the other squad. And he
We dab. We all dab.
He looks to the other squad and he says, "Pull your heads out of your asses. Scan your sectors and secure this area. We're headed to the bridge."
I stop and I say, "Sergeant, he said there may be hostiles. I would put it to you that there definitely are hostiles. Because I don't think there would have been 2 breaches if there weren't some kind of hostiles."
Well then, Boomerang, I'm glad glad you have all that shit. Let's go.
I'm just saying, there might be some rebels. Dennis, this is your chance.
My chance to what?
Beat some rebel ass.
How do I beat rebel ass?
With your beating stick. No, not that one. Your gun.
Zips back up. Okay.
So, Chris,
Yes.
per beat or per scene we get 2?
Okay, so yeah, you get per beat. So now that Corva has used the powerhouse of 7, he can use that for a multitude of actions. It's up to him whether he wants to increase the total later on. To say that his 7 is fine for this point for multiple actions, but maybe he gets to a door he wants to tear open dramatically or something, then he might decide, he might try it, and if it doesn't work, then he can go to beat 2 to then try and use a better ability. So he's used a passive ability, so it means his other option is an active ability, which is pick another ability and then roll a d6 and add that to the score. So everybody in this beat can use 2 different abilities. You can still roleplay freely, and you can do anything that doesn't have a dramatic result. You can just move about and talk. It just means that you have like a defined amount of rules totals that you can use, rather than just rolling repeatedly to do stuff. So yeah, the narrative scene has 3 beats in total, so that means you basically got 6 ability totals max you can use until I choose to end the scene, basically. So it just gives you like a dramatic limitation over what you can do, but you can use those totals for like a multitude of actions.
Okay.
And thank you so much to Sawfang for subscribing. Thank you so much, Sawfang. You're the most gentlemanly of scholars around. And if you guys don't follow Sawfang yourselves, you should. Thanks so much, dude. I hope you enjoy all of the new sub emotes and stuff like that. I salute you, sir. And you guys should go check out Sawfang if you don't already. I know a bunch of you guys do. Thanks so much, my friend.
Woo! Excellent. Yeah. So the Sarge does his cool dramatic flip thing and grabs. Are you going to, Sergeant, help everybody towards the hyperlift with your power housing?
No, they got it.
They got it? Okay. Well, in that case, the Sarge who's got himself on the wall is going to go to the lift by himself. So everybody else will be free floating. So it's your chance to use abilities to see if you can get to where you want to go as well. So
Axe would like to use drop and give me 50 to get himself positioned.
okay.
Also, and then also be using sentry duty. You heard about that there might be hostiles, so he's using sentry duty to keep an eye on the ship to see if there's any hostiles that might be coming out of any hatches that pop open on the ship. Is that the correct usage of that?
That sounds cool. So in this case, you need to choose which one you want to use as the passive total for a narrative scene, and which one you want to roll. So it depends which one you think is more important, really.
So I'll use the passive, drop and give me 50.
Yeah.
Which is a 7.
Okay. That's cool. So you please describe how you easily right yourself.
So yeah, he pushes off one of the crates that's close by and just sort of bumps off of one, bumps off of the other, lands on the ground. Gets his mag boots engaged so that he's got so he's in place. Mag boots, or is it rails? I'm sorry.
You can, basically you've got rungs and rails and stuff that you can grab onto. Yeah, your armor does magnetize as well, so if you can get yourself down to the floor, then you can do it that way. That's fine.
Okay. So cool, he gets down in his hero's stance, has his blade out and looking straight at the ship, seeing if there's anything coming so he can guard his squad's retreat back towards the hatch.
So in this case, you roll and add your sentry duty score to the D6, so it's a D6.
So
Only
he rolls a D6.
1D6 in this game.
So got a 4 plus my sentry duty, which is I use the narrative scene or the action scene.
So in this case, you're just adding the score, which is the first column on the left.
Okay, gotcha. So I get a 6 because I have a 2 in sentry duty.
Okay, that's cool. So you look over ahead to the ship as you kind of like back off with your sword out. Currently you can see no movement. However, you are aware that the front of the ship, though it has pierced through your ship and is kind of mangled, there's still a good portion of the ship which is mostly unharmed, and you can see hatches where it is possible that hostiles could potentially come out if anybody inside survived the crash. You think that will probably be unlikely, like the sheer force of it would probably kill people inside. But yeah, you see some of the other Marine squads who Corba has urged into action, and they are doing it as ordered and are currently running over to somewhere where you can see some dropships have been partially pierced by the cruiser, and there are flames, and you can see as they're reaching in and pulling them out the wreckage, doing their best. You can see some Marines who are cutting into dropships. So it seems like, and there is another squad who are kind of just stood back, keeping their guns trained where you're looking. So it looks like things are in hand here as far as you can tell. You can see at least 3 squads in visibility who are doing rescue work and also keeping an eye on this ship. So it looks like the other end of the ship where they haven't got any Marines is definitely the problem area, which is why you guys have got the hard job. There we go. So you can back off towards the hyperlift if you like, by the where the Sarge is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, it's secured. Let's head towards the bridge.
Excellent. Boomerang, what abilities would you like to use?
I don't know. You recommend anything? I've got some brains. That's passive.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Well, in this case, you're going to need movement abilities to be able to grab on stuff. So you can use Freaking Ninja, Drop and Give Me 50, or Powerhouse.
I'm going to need to drop and give me 50 again.
Okay. In that case, you just need to decide whether you want to do it as a passive or an active.
Passive.
Okay. What's your passive Drop and Give Me 50, sir?
It's a free.
Okay. Ooh. You reach down to try and grab onto the rungs. You see the finesse of your 2 squad mates, but you just kind of grabbing because you're so overladen with stuff. As you As you reach out to grab, you then flip over due to the weight of all your gear that the Sarge already admonished you for. So yeah, Danjuma, as he backs off, can see you flipping round and round as you're trying to grab at these rungs, and then you're spinning upwards in the 0G.
Oh God.
As you get a negative success level and rise up into the air somewhat.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Axe already used, drop and give me 50 at passive 7. Can I grab
You
him?
can
Or am I too late
yeah,
to
you
do
can grab him if you like, that's fine, yeah, you can use it for multiple actions. How would you like to rescue him?
He grabs his ankle, get down here, and yanks him down. Probably a little harder than he should.
I was just testing. Gravity.
You.
As he slams you on and the sheer weight of your mags like slams you down onto the ground and mags you there, as you then like crawl your way by the mag rungs over to where the Sarge is. And now for the mighty Dennis.
Dennis.
Dennis!
Hello.
What abilities would the mighty Dennis like to use? That's what I'm calling you now, mighty Dennis.
I'll tell you what Dennis wants to do. Dennis now has, like, projected the idea of his father onto Boomerang. And so he is, like, constantly fighting
Happens a lot.
for Boomerang's, like, attention and approval. But he also is very codependent on him.
Call me daddy.
It's a
So I
different
think
thing.
what he's gonna try and do is this freaking ninja thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like to latch on to him like a nursing baby.
Okay. Do you want to use your passive
baby
freaking ninja, or do you want to roll it?
I'll roll it. What?
Okay. Do you want to roll and add your freaking ninja score if you have one? If you don't have the freaking ninja score, then you just have to roll and hope that you get high.
Okay, well we can roll and add the thing.
Yeah.
You can roll and add the score, yeah.
Okay, so what is that? What is the roll then?
D6. Everything's D6.
Yeah, everything's decent.
Oh,
Ah.
how neat is that?
Indeed, yeah. I don't like having to roll loads of things all of the time.
Yeah.
So I created a low dice system because I'm dyspraxic and I can't keep track of loads of dice. So
This is neat.
Cheers.
I'm doing it.
There you go.
Oh no,
That's
it's
a four.
4.
okay, you in this case match the target number. So Will got one negative success level just to tumble through the air a little bit. Because I set the target number as 4. In your case, you've matched the target number, which is no positive or negative success levels. So as he's already on the ground, I'm going to say, yes, that's fine for you to just hug him. And that's all it is. You don't help him move. He's now trying to pull himself along, and now it's even harder because you're just hugging onto him.
You're monkeying onto me.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. He's no longer drifting. He's now got the opposite problem. He's now just stuck to the floor,
Oh God, Dennis, no.
magged onto him.
This is
Basically.
just what happens when I get nervous, you know that?
Dennis, every time we've talked about this.
You can't present yourself in this position when I'm nervous.
I.
It's at this point, if Dan Juma wishes to give further aid, as he's dropping give me 50, he could do so, unless he wishes to leave them in embarrassment.
This really is a different core.
I've told you I don't want a son.
Oh, what do you want from me,
Dennis.
Dad?
No.
One of the Marines in a nearby squad just looks on, and just the viewer through the film can just see him just mouth. As they're looking at these 4 Marines who are apparently being sent to relieve the bridge.
A single tear rolls down his eye.
So it's at this point, you've got 2 options. Either the other Marines with higher totals can help you, or you guys, if you wish to try and get yourselves out of the situation, you do have 1 ability type remaining, or you can go to the next beat and see if you can like do something better and get a higher total.
Sergeant, it's your call.
I am sorry, I missed that. Where are we?
So they're currently, Henderson is magged onto the
Yep.
floor
Yep.
with Dennis wrapped around him. Henderson now cannot move. he's got the opposite problem of before.
Perfect.
You could, if you like, use your powerhouse to pull them along, but I know that you were leaving them to do it themselves.
Yeah, you know, I like to lead from the front and I let them, you know,
Yep.
let this corporal do his own thing. So yeah, he reaches down and like kind of underneath the private, he grabs onto one of Corporal Henderson's many gadgets attached to him and kind of grabs them with powerhouse and pulls them up off the mag and helps right them.
Okay. You pull them up and help right them. And then in this case, it will be into the hyperlift where you came before to continue to go back towards the front of the ship, basically. Right. As you pull them, the camera will cut. You will get into the hyperlift, which obviously the hyperlift is not working. So this will be a case of climbing up the lift shaft, which is now doable because you've now got everybody onto the mag rungs. So I'm going to say that at this point, you've just got to climb up. So we'll cut to the Marine squad, presumably headed by Sarge, as he likes to lead from the front, climbing up as we cut to probably Dan Jimmer right behind you because he's the fast one. And then trailing behind, we have Henderson and Dennis. Is Dennis still gonna hang on to Henderson as he's trying to climb?
I feel like Henderson is just too quick for him because his armor is too big, so he's like jingling and clambering along and like reaching for his hand, but it's like just out of reach, just so far.
Okay. Right. Excellent. As you guys climb up and exit the dropship bay. Right. I hope we're okay. I've mostly decided to go for descriptive for this game.
Yeah, no.
That's cool.
I set up loads of RPG Now maps and then realised I hadn't set up the character tokens. If I have a chance later, I'll try to do that. But I set up everything else. So thank you for bearing with me. Right, the camera will cut on as you guys climb up to the top of the hyperlift. Now, to get through the bridge, you've got two options. Let me just consult the map that I've got. You've got several levels that you can choose to approach to go to the bridge. So it's up to you whether you want to take the bottom level of the ship and not have to climb very far and go through the training areas, or you can climb up and go to one of the higher levels of the ship. So Sergeant, do you want to move along the bottom levels of the ship, or do you want to try and like get higher? You're trying to get to the bridge, which is along the bottom level of the ship, but you don't know quite. You know that there is a big, massive obstruction at some point.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna hook one arm around these mag rails. He's gonna flip open the data pad on his wrist and try to punch up some kind of ship schematics of the ship that they are on and see where this hull damage is. Kind of blockage or something.
That's cool. So as you try and patch in, you managed to get through to the obviously through on the comms to the bridge, but because there's no power through in this section at the moment, you can't get an active schematic of the ship. You can get the standard ship map, but you can't get like an active diagnostic currently of the state of the ship.
Okay.
If you want it.
So from where we are on the original schematics of the ship, what is the fastest way to
bridge? Currently you are basically just moving into the marine section where you came from, so that's where you've got barracks, training areas, etc. And then you've got to move through several sections. So in between each section there are anti-gravity marines, and currently the nearest one must be bust because there's no gravity here. But you continue on to a you've got different bottom levels. So I'll just tell you your kind of options as where you can go. So you can go through the training area, and then that will lead you through into bio and weapons testing labs. Or you can take the squad amenities area, and that will take you through to hydroponics. Or you can take the barracks and go through to holding cells. Or you can take the officer barracks up the top level and go through to the med facilities. Taking any of these directions will eventually take you towards the bridge, but the most direct route would be taking the bottom level, which would be training areas and then bio labs.
Sergeant, I know a girl in the medical facility. She might be of use to us.
Boomerang, you know a lot of girls in a lot of places.
I do. A girl in every harbor.
And a port in every storm. Let's
That's
go,
right.
Medic Bay.
And we got to the medic bay. Excellent. You guys have got the way to play I Love the Call perfectly.
Don't you have your drones with you? Maybe send a drone ahead.
A drone. Well, that's
Did I read that right? Isn't Henderson the drone guy?
He does have
That's funny,
drones. Unfortunately, they're turret drones, so they're basically AI-operated turrets.
Never mind.
There
It's
are
okay.
many kinds of drone in I Love the Call, and they do include flying ones. But alas, he's got turret drones.
It's funny because I've been hearing a drone this whole time, coming from you, X.
I love it.
We'll see.
Cha-cha.
And with that point, we definitely cut ahead with that established. As you guys get to the medical facility, at this point, as Danjuma does have the Centrifuge 7, if being that he doesn't have drones to take point, do you possibly wish to take point, see if you can spot any dangers ahead of everybody else?
Sure. Yeah, that's my gig.
Okay, excellent. So you will head forward with your Centrifuge 6, dropping into 57. So we cut as you guys have climbed to the top of the ship. So you head into the medical facility area. Before you get there, however, there is a little crawl tunnel. So in between the sections, you have crawl tunnels because in between the sections, there's anti-gravity generating. Because of the gravitic pressure of being in between where the gravity is generated, it's kind of dangerous to walk. So there are some crawl tunnels. However, at this point, you could choose to walk if you like, because there's currently no gravity. They're kind of large enough that you can sort of run along them. We cut to show Danjuma moving slightly ahead of the rest of the squad as he paces ahead, stopping occasionally, listening and continuing. Currently, you can hear that there is a lot of commotion coming from the med facilities. You can hear there appears to be, you can hear sirens going, so there must be power in the next section. So you can hear that. Report to escape pods. Repeat. All crew and squad, report to escape pods immediately. Any surviving Marines, report to the bridge. All other crew and personnel. And this continues on the other side of the door. However, your hearing is good enough that you can hear lots of commotion. There are definitely people on the other side. You can hear running, shouts, calls, people crying out in pain, etc., coming from the other side of this door as you approach a circular airlock door which sort of says med facility on the front of it.
Is there is there an easy way in, or is there like a comms on device that we have to speak through to speak to someone to get us through this?
Yeah, you've got a pad on the front, so if you know the code, you can get in through the door. Otherwise, yeah, there will be a comm device as well. So
I'm gonna see if I can get through to my contact on the other side.
Okay.
We'll say her name is what should we say her name is? Her name is Catherine.
Okay.
I was desperately racking my brain for female names that aren't anyone I actually know in real life.
Cool. Right. So in this case, this will be a case of the chutzpah ability, because you're trying to use it to not only appeal to someone's better nature, but to find a sexy lady and to go to open the door for you. So this will be a case of chutzpah.
I have nothing in chutzpah.
And in this case, you need to just do a straight dice roll, and this will be your two abilities for the beat used, because you use drop and give you 50, and then this will be chutzpah. So please roll and hope.
Can you just roll me a d6?
Oh, me, yeah.
Yeah, you can roll it. Sydney will roll for me on this one. Okay. Nailed it. 5.
Ah, there we are.
5. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. And because you pointed out that you've got this lady that you already know, I quite like that little detail. In this case, if it was a normal I Love the Call game, I would probably have rewarded some glory points by now. Glory points I give for particularly characterful moments, story building, awesome stuff. But being that you've got your whole donation thing going, if people donate, instead of donating crits and things, because my game doesn't have crits, I'll do glory points instead.
Nice.
But that's a very cool one. If I was running a normal game, I'd definitely that would definitely be a use of glory point to have the lady. But in this case, I'm just going to let you have it. So yeah, you type into the thing, activate the radio. What do you say?
Hello there, Catherine. Catherine, are you reading? Over.
Henderson, is that you?
Please call me Boomerang.
Okay, Henderson, it's madness in here. We've got to get everybody out to the escape pods, but we haven't got mag stretchers enough for everybody. You need to come in and help us.
You sound a lot less sexy when you're stressed. Please calm down. Can
Fuck you, Boomerang. Is that better?
Oh, that's good.
No, you like it when I say fuck you. Fuck you right now. And she opens, the door opens. Fuck you and come and help us.
I like you. And I burst through the door.
Okay, as you burst into the door, well, through the door, not into the door, through the door. Sorry, it's past midnight. I apologise if I get my words confused. You go through the door, and you see the med facility in chaos. There are people scrambling left and right. Some people just flat out running around the corridor. As you can see, Marines injured from previous missions trying to like hop down the corridor, going, "Help me! Someone fucking help me!" As you can just see people left and right scattered, afraid. There are some medical staff who are trying to get people away on stretchers, doing their jobs properly. But as she said, there's not enough. So some people are kind of trying to. You can see like two Marines trying to drag each other along. One Marine is literally crawling along the corridor. You just see a streak of blood behind him. He's like missing a leg. There's just where you can see where the stump of the leg has been sprayed over with foam, and he's trying to drag himself through. As you come out into this medical bay area and see everything in chaos.
I'm gonna search for Catherine.
Okay.
Where are you?
Catherine, as you make your way through the sky. Now, to search for Catherine, this will require sentry duty. You've used both your abilities. So, you've got two options here, Will. You can either search for Catherine and not find her, dramatically, or you can take us to beat 2. At which point, this means that everybody's only got 4 abilities left, which will make it potentially a little bit more tense, because what ability totals you use by the end of the scene will dictate what happens next.
It seems very important that I find Catherine.
Okay, as we go to beat 2. So this will be a case of using your sentry duty. Do you want to do it with your passive narrative scene total, or do you want to roll the score and add it?
I'm gonna roll and add it. So it's 1d6 plus 5 for me.
Okay. 11.
11. I find all of the Catherine.
Wow, that's phenomenal. So with a phenomenal 11, please have us a dramatic moment as you make your way through the med base, screaming, making your way past people to find you.
This has to beat the beard moment from earlier this week.
the reunion.
Slow motion? Okay, slow motion version. Oh, Catherine!
Catherine, no!
As you make your way through, we cut as you punt one guy, the one guy who's dragging himself along the wall over as you make your way past him, shove your way through some medical staff. You find
fuck you right now.
you charge your way in as you enter a room where there appears to be row after row of people trying to get people out of like an intensive care unit. There's just row after row of mag stretcher, and you can see Catherine at the end of the room, who's looking panicked because she can't get out of the room because there's just this long line of people trying to get out. As you approach, you can see that essentially there's like one medic who's just like by themselves trying to pull like the mag stretcher out, and it's currently like mag to the floor, and they're trying to pull them along, and there's like a line of other people stuck behind trying to get out.
Nice. I say, Catherine, get in that escape pod right now.
I can't get out of the fucking room. Escape pods are that way where you're going.
Come with me.
If you want to live.
If you want to live, come with me, Catherine. If you want to really live.
Okay. Yeah, she's like, I will gladly come with you. You need to get these fuckers out of my way. Get
I
these
say-
people out of the room!
Everybody, get the fuck out of here! And I start shooting into the ceiling.
Okay, in this case, you're going to use passive collateral damage for the purposes of intimidation. What is
Just-
your passive
just-
collateral damage?
It's just, I think it's more passive.
Yep, it's definitely your passive because you do active.
Yeah. So let me see. In fact, I'm going to use my flamethrower for this one. So I'm just
Okay,
going.
that's cool. I've got the sheet here. It is 4. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll probably do. These are just med techs and things. So yeah.
So can I add to his score with some chutzpah?
Yeah, you can help him along. So do you want to do passive chutzpah or active?
Yeah, I'll use my passive.
Okay.
So I have a 4 in that. So yeah, he starts
Okay.
flamethrowing and shouting, "Everyone, get out of here!" And
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
So they're not using any abilities to oppose this because they're just in a panic. So you each get like about 3 success levels each. So as he's like spraying the flamethrower and just going, "Oh, get out!" You're a little calmer behind him as the people clear out the way. As your nice lady Jessica, was it? Yeah, comes runs towards you and she doesn't wrap her arms around you because that's not her style. She's gonna run up to Henderson, give him a good fucking kick in the crotch, which doesn't hurt him because he's got crotch plating. But comes in and goes, "Tell me the goddamn get to the escape pod. What the fuck do you think I was doing?"
I don't know. I just got excited and started lighting fires like you started a fire in my crotch.
Yeah, well, here's some more fire, you fucker. She kicks him in the crotch plate again.
I kind of like
You
that.
like that, bitch?
I nearly feel something. Keep going.
also give me that ointment for the fire.
There's more where that came from when we get to the drop pod. Come on. She grabs you by the arm.
Oh, baby.
Down the corridor with you.
I like the sound of that. Come on, guys.
I don't know if you're fighting or
As
she's
I'm
coming
running-
onto you.
As I'm running off, I shout, I love the core!
Hoorah, Marines!
The joys of roleplay. I've run this scenario several times and no one's decided to acquire a girlfriend on the way. Beautiful. Right, anything anybody else wishes to do during the med facility area, or shall I just cut
No,
on ahead?
are all these Marines and Corpsmen running towards the escape pods?
Yeah, they're trying. Some of the Marines are having difficulty because the Marines that are here are horribly injured ones.
Okay.
But they're doing their best to make their way. Obviously, you guys have got your priority, so are you going to make your way ahead of try and cut your way through the people?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So the Sarge shouting all the way as he goes. Henderson perhaps spraying the flamethrower a little bit more. With the nervous Dennis tagging behind and Danjuma still ever alert, keeping an eye on things, even in the madness, as you make your way through the med facility. Right. At which point, I'm going to say, even though we've only done 2 beats, I'd say that's definitely going to be the end of the first narrative scene of the game.
Nice.
So there we go. You've had a nice little positive end to that. As you make your way through the med facility, having acquired a girlfriend for Henderson. Okay.
I dig it.
So yeah, I can choose to end scenes earlier if I wish. In this case, you've got through the first 2 sections. So that fulfills my end scene condition there.
Nice.
Means we'll go on to a new narrative scene, which means everyone has a new set of abilities. As we go to the power core. So, to get to the next section of the ship, you need to use the crawl spaces above the power core. There is a nuclear power core at the center of the ship,
Okay.
which provides a significant amount of power for the ship. The engines at the rear of the ship have been destroyed, but this power core is still providing power for this section and some of the outlying sections. So this scene will sort of open as we cut to you guys crawling your way up along the chute. So at this point, as you make your way further towards potential danger, are there any abilities people wish to use for this new narrative scene?
Is Catherine still with us?
Yes, she's with you.
Cool.
She's flashed onto you. She's yelling at Casey, "Come on, fucking crawl faster, asshole!"
Wow, I like this. Sergeant, you cover for me.
He looks back as he's running. He's like, "Yeah, Boomerang, make it quick."
Oh,
You can
God.
see Dennis like constantly glaring at Catherine because he's heard Boomerang talk about her so much, and he's like, "Oh, she sounds so nice," but he's like super jealous of all her attention. So like every time he's like going after Catherine or anything, he's like,
For
Show her
Nice.
the boomerang and get back in formation.
All right. I try and remain professional.
excellent. As you guys continue on down the chute, are there any abilities people wish to use to look out for danger, prepare for danger, anything like that?
Yeah, I'll get Sentry Duty up again, just passive.
Okay. Cool. Doing it as passive or an active?
Passive 5.
Okay, passive 5. As you staring overhead, yeah. Here, all you can currently hear is just a of the pulsing power core down below you. As you drag yourselves along the metal grating, you can see this blue glow rises up. You know, it's that classic sci-fi thing where you've got grids running through the metal. As you can see the core below you. There is, of course, massive shielding in between you and it, so you can see it glowing, and you can hear it humming, and there's little else you can hear. You look down the corridor, the tower is on, so this chute is fully lit as you make your way down the chute. Lights up as you go, and all appears to be clear.
Looks good.
Excellent. Anybody else wish to use any other abilities?
I would sentry, but seeing as Axe has got it and I'm distracted, I won't.
Okay, that's cool. Excellent.
Anyone see if this core is stable?
Another thing you can do is abilities is preparing, so you can use a total to prepare to do something later. So if people wish to prepare for violence, that's perfectly acceptable. And when violence comes up, it means that you have a total ready to use. So it means that you're harder to take by surprise. In Unlived Core, you generally do better if you kind of work together and prepare. Chaos usually occurs when stuff happens by surprise and you get taken by ambush, etc. So, would anybody like to prepare any other abilities?
Can I like go talk to Catherine?
Okay, yes?
Yeah, so I want to like make a lot of like passive aggressive comments towards her. Like I'll be like, well, now that we're like preparing for battle, we could probably use you as a human shield because you're so big.
What did you just say? You've got a freaking shield, man.
Oh, I guess you didn't understand.
Oh yeah, no, I understood perfectly, asshole. You just said you're gonna put me in front as a human shield. I know what that means. I understand English. Do you understand English, asshole? Do you?
I think he does. He just spoke English to you, Catherine.
Don't you side with him. This
I want to like
fucker. Who is this guy?
like
Hey,
You're
Dad.
not a thing, are you? Oh,
Here we
anyway,
go.
Catherine, you were saying.
well,
You
fuck both of you. And
he like wipe a speck of blood off his visor.
Catherine continues on ahead, angry as she crawls past. She crawls past the Sarge. She crawls past Endurance. She continues on. Fuck you! I can get to my own goddamn escape pod. They're just on the other side of this goddamn airlock anyway. As
I
she climbs
shoot
her way
Catherine.
towards the airlock. She's the pad.
Just as it's happening, whilst it's happening, I
Yeah.
say, I think she's a rebel. And I shoot her.
Makes sense.
Okay, you think she's a rebel and you shoot her.
Yes.
Collateral damage in this case.
I mean, she's standing there, like, putting in a key code. I just, like...
You can passively wipe her with the collateral damage because she's not prepared for that. I mean, are you flamethrowing her?
I mean, that would be too brutal, Chris. I'm just gonna shoot her in the back of the head.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
You know,
I'm not a savage,
you're not
okay?
civilized.
I just wanted to check how horrific this is going to look for the benefit of the other characters.
this is Will, not Moldork. It's
Yeah,
different.
there are rules about these things.
There are indeed rules. Yeah, she's trying to. So yeah, you just end her with a shot to the back of the head as she just collapses. There's just blood
I go full Gestapo on her ass.
Wow, you went to all the effort to rescue your girlfriend to then wipe her 5 minutes later.
I say to the squad, looks like it turned out she was definitely a rebel. I thought so.
This case would be the second horror of the game. So this is necessary evils, because this is murdering somebody who you believe has betrayed the will of the court.
Yes.
So, let's see. Who is immune to necessary evils?
Me.
She had to go.
You.
I am.
Yeah. Nobody else is immune to it, so there will be some psychological effect. You may agree that she had to go, but it's still perhaps quick. It's very quick and unsettling. So in this case, let me see. Danjuma's fine because Danjuma's been using sentry duty, so he's just focused on the task ahead. No psychological effect for Danjuma. He's barely even paying attention.
Good man.
You are fine. Right, let me see. Hands. Okay, so the Sarge. Well, yeah. To be fair, the medic hates her, and the Sarge is just roleplay being fine. So I'm just going to carry on. No psych effects for anybody because it doesn't fit the role. So there we go. That's how it goes.
Basically ignoring Boomerang anyway.
Yeah. Boomerang did what he thought was right. The Sarge just nodded, and Jessica was hated by Dennis. So no side effects for anyone. We proceed on. We're clearly going for the action side of this game, which is fine. And you haven't even fought anything yet. But anyway, you guys. So who's going to be first to reach the airlock? Is Danjuma going to be scouting ahead again?
Yeah, Danjuma's up front.
Okay. So you go over to the airlock, past the dead body of Jessica with barely a glance.
I just kick her out of the way.
You just kick her.
Necessary evil.
Blood streams out. Just even further, just pours across in front of you, and you just nonchalantly put in the code for the airlock, and the airlock opens up as you enter where you enter the central escape pod chamber. So you guys are carrying on towards the bridge, where there is another escape pod chamber, but this is the central escape pod chamber of the ship. So as you guys approach, the airlock opens up. You are faced with a several hundred foot across and long open space where there are massive drop pods stretched across. And yeah, this is what you see. There is pod after pod after pod. Let me just check the map. How many? Right, yes, we've got. You can currently see within immediate sight 2 big drop pods. Danjuma can see a little bit further as he's used his sentry duty total, so you can see that the carries on for several hundred feet with these drop pods, which are big green cylindrical objects embedded up in the ceiling, which basically will launch out directly into space. However, as you enter the area, you see 2 and then 4 different figures making their way. You can see them like ambling towards the drop pod. However, the nearest person that you can see is about 50 foot in front of you. And they look, well, they're not moving normally, shall we say. As they move forward, you can see them crawling along the floor. Your first thought is that they're injured, but because you've got a 5 on sentry duty, you can get a little bit more details as you see them moving in. Well, you notice that they're crawling, except they're crawling upside down. You can see their hands stretched behind them, fingers gripping onto the metal, crawling along. The rest of their body, like their knees are bent the wrong way and their feet are hooked into the metal, and they're basically crawling along but flipped round from the way you would normally expect a human to be crawling along. And you can just see that their mouth is just wide open as this single person just falls
So Corbo looks to Dennis and says, "Private, do your best not to die. Boomerang, looks like you're up." And then he reaches back and pulls out his assault rifle.
Time for things to go boom.
As we go to our first action scene. Right, let's get my action scene music. Where's it gone? Right,
I'm gonna lay down some turret fire, I think.
this sounds good. Right.
This one might be a little bit trickier than that Catherine rebel.
Right, so we up the core. There's no such thing as initiative. I find that by the time you've done initiative, it takes about 10 minutes, and then you have to check who everyone's stores in, and it gets very confusing. So in this case, I just decide who goes based on who initiated the action scene. So, being that Danjuma was first, I'm going to begin with Danjuma. So he's the first one, right by the airlock. Everybody else is getting ready, but Danjuma is right there with something falling about 50 foot in front of him. You can see about three other distant forms within your kind of immediate sight range.
Do we have a map of this, Chris?
I do have a map, but what I did was I made all the things that go on the map, and then I haven't done Marines for you guys, so just give me a moment. I have got some Marines on here. Are you okay to give me a minute or two to do that, or shall I just describe it and carry on?
Yeah, maps would be cool. Why not?
Okay, let me just get these things on. So I've put the players onto the right map. I just need to put your tokens on. So.
Nice. I'll do some plugs on whilst you're waiting to do that. So if you guys are wondering what game
that's cool.
then you can find it here on Kickstarter. It's already funded, but there's some stretch goals so you can go ahead and support if you're interested in doing so. Also, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the follow button and join us. We're here 5 nights a week, 10 shows a week. We're streaming at a time which we don't usually. It's usually 1 till 7 every day, but today we would so that's a schedule for you guys there. Also, there's a tweet. I think we're only a few retweets away now, actually. But when it hits 20, you guys decide what happens in our game. So go ahead and do so. You can donate to affect the game, giving players the equivalents in this game of nat 1s and nat 20s, critical successes, and all sorts of other crazy nonsense. So there you go. Chris is working on getting our tokens in for us, so we can see what's going on in this combat here. So, hey, how's it going, Chris?
I'm getting there. Sorry, I just accidentally deleted the thing that I want. So just finding it. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm terribly rookie at Roll20. I apologise.
All right. Day 1 of Roll20 isn't the easiest day. I guess we can go ahead and describe what we're doing whilst you're saying.
Yes. That's
So, and Jim, I guess you're going first. I think the right thing to do is I'm readying my powerhouse for close weapon combat.
okay.
And I've got this note that says you can move a short range 50 feet without an ability total and can sprint beyond 100 feet with an ability total. You get higher.
That is correct.
So are they within 50 feet?
Yeah, the nearest one is definitely within 50 foot. Got that one on the map there, I believe. Should be visible. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to put Danjuma on there now. Let's just name him. That is a grunt. Danjuma. Okay. Let's give Danjuma. I'll make him green. Okay, right. So Danjuma moves ahead. I'm just going to control, put the tokens down myself and get that on there. Right, okay, so Danjuma charges ahead for free without using any abilities. So in this case, you've got your powerhouse. So would you like to
Yeah.
roll that? Or do you want to use it as a passive? Now you've got an action scene, so your totals are slightly lower for passives in action scenes because it's harder to do 2 things at once when the bullets are flying. So do you want to roll it or do it as a passive?
So I will roll,
Okay.
because I can't get any worse. And I match my my passive ability. So I make a 4.
Okay. Right, so you charge at this thing, attack with your passive of 4. Right, so these things were not prepared for you. So right now this thing doesn't have an ability total. So the target number to it is 1. So with your 4, you have beaten it. And
So I'm attacking with I'm swinging with my my thermo blade,
okay.
and do a nice big roundhouse.
Okay, where would you like to attack the crawling person?
I go for the head, try to chop the head off.
Okay, cool. So you bring down your thermo blade, go for the head. We cut as the blade cuts finely through the flesh. You see the stream of smoke as the head goes flying right off and rolls between your legs and rolls behind you. The body doesn't move. You just cut the head right off, and the body jolts a brief moment, actually, but it doesn't collapse as you would expect.
So with my sentry duty, do I recognize these? Have we fought them before? Is this a species that we are familiar with?
You guys are just standard infantry. All you do is fight actual rebels. This is new. This will be
This
the
is
first.
above our pay grade.
Yep, this is the first contact horror. As you've just chopped someone's head off, and they're somehow, well, you don't know if they're alive or dead, but then they didn't react normally. But because you've got your usual sentry duty of 5 before, for expecting weird shit,
I'm immune to first contact.
and you're immune to first contact. So there we go. That's cool. Yeah, you've seen some weirder shit than some of the others because you've been to some weird planets. But you don't know what the hell this is. I mean, it was a person. And then as you look down, the body then continues to move towards you. You see the hands suddenly reach upwards.
Got some freaky shit up here. Kill it with fire.
What would you like to use for your passive ability? If you would like to, you have got one to use.
I'm going to use my drop and give me 50.
Okay. So what's your passive drop and give me 50 in an action scene?
It's 5.
Okay. So do you want to use your drop and give me 50 to? You can. Do you want to?
Yeah, I want to kind of bound away.
Okay.
Since it's still moving, even though I cut its head off.
Yep. Okay. You want to move back to the airlock, back to the rest of the squad?
Actually, kind of like to move sort of more in between, like if you think about them as a triangle, sort of right in between them, so that I can get another attack on my next turn on something else.
Okay, that sounds cool. Right, a triangle it is. Let me just.
It's sort of there, where I just pinged.
Yep, I got you.
If I can get that far,
Thank you, sir. Cool.
aiming
Right.
that way.
Dodging this as a go. Thank you for helping me. Right, okay. Next up, we've got Henderson, as the sergeant just told him to go to action as Henderson steps out the airlock, and I've currently got his guy on. So, right. What abilities would Henderson like to use?
Time to let it burn. I wanna burn these bitches with my flamethrower.
Okay. Cool.
So I guess, is this collateral damage?
This would indeed be collateral damage, sir.
Alright, so it's action, so it's
Well,
1+4.
I'm going to make him orange. There we go. I'll do that.
There
Right.
you go.
Corba. Make him.
6 plus 10.
10. Yes.
You keep getting as high as you could possibly get.
I'm the best.
I'm rolling for you.
But I'm the best.
10 you got. Wow. Okay. So, please describe as you walk up to the creature and entirely immolate it. Well, if you have to add to that.
I stomp towards it, slowly with my flamethrower and say, "You're a weird fucking rebel. I'm gonna burn you though. Feel the burn." And just kind of
Okay.
this
So
area.
as you walk up to it, that'll be your passage on. Give me 50, which is fine. As you walk over to it and blast it to death as it is gone. Then
You might want to angle your camera up a little bit, Chris. We were just getting some chin. Lovely as it is.
Sorry, it's
There we go.
because it was set up for me sat back in my chair.
There we go.
Leaning forward and actually using the keyboard. Is that better?
That's much better.
That work when I'm sat forward? Depends who I'm using. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I'm used to multitasking when GMing, but I'm not used to operating an electronic thing and doing all
That's so good.
I'm terribly old school, so sorry about that. Thanks for bearing with me. I also set music, but it keeps stopping. There we go. Right, got it. Okay, so that's Henderson. Step forward, flame this thing to death. You can see 2 of the creatures. Now, because Danjuma's moved forwards, I'm just going to reveal a bit more of the map, I think.
Ooh. What do we have here? Oh, and thank you to Total D4 for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Okay. It's now. Layers. I'm just going to go to my layers.
Into your lair. Nice. If you guys have any questions about the system whilst we're going as well, feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to.
Yes, I'll help. Sorry, just trying to find what layers things are in. Oh no, copy and paste, that will do it.
That'll do it.
No, I thought I'd set these things objects.
It's all good.
I deleted the one that I'd set correctly. Please judge me on my role-playing game, not on my ability to use to use this stupid thing.
Kind of pressure.
Oh dear. I don't know what's going on. Alright. I'll get them in there. There is another guy down there anyway. I'll put him on when I can. Right. So, Corva, what would you like to do? There is another guy on the left-hand side. Let's see. Objects. So yeah, give me your abilities and I will stick the thing on when I can. Thing on. Oh, hang on. Oh, there we go. Got the right one.
Okay, nice.
Right. Yeah, there is a guy. Sorry, it was the wrong color. Okay, yes. So yeah, what would you like to do for the sergeant?
So, are we in like a long corridor? What's this room look like? Like where are the walls?
I have got the map on Roll20 now, so it should be.
So, are there walls near us?
No, you're just in a big, massive open bay area. Basically, this is the escape pod launch area.
Okay.
So you've just got
Is there
big
any
open
stuff
area,
around us?
grated ceilings. You know, the classic
debris?
alien style thing, pipes above, steam pouring out all over you, and these big green devices down here are escape pods. You have got a hostile that is currently, just on your right, my left. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to use my passive powerhouse to reach down and grab one of these grates and lift it up and then kind of take cover behind it.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, you can do that. What's your passive powerhouse score?
For an action scene, it's 5.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So you use your 5 on that. Very good.
And then I'm going to use my, my active ability for collateral damage to shoot this guy in the face.
Cool.
So that is...
So roll and add your collateral damage.
5.
Believe in cover. I don't believe in cover.
Okay. Was that a 9, was it?
5.
5. Okay, cool. Sorry, I tried to misread that. So yeah, you shoot. Where are you going to shoot the target?
In the face.
Okay, you aim at the thing as it crawls along. You fire it sort of hits it at the temple, go for like a kill shot, blows out like the left side of its head. Then it continues to crawl. You fire again, hit it like right by the nose, try to punch through into its head. It continues to crawl. You shoot it again and again, and you're getting hits. You're shooting its head to shit, and it continues to crawl at you. So yeah, this will be more of the first contact horror, which I believe Cobra is fine with. No, is so yeah. A little bit of first contact for Corva. So if you add to your character's psychological status, so that would be your Stay Frosty is 4. I'll say it's just a total of 5. So Yeah, just add a 1 to your get a 1 to your psychological status because it's just a little bit weird. But you're determined to kill these things, so it doesn't psychologically affect you too massively. As you shoot and blast this thing, as it continues to crawl its way towards you. Okay. But you've caught these things by surprise, so right now they're kind of just staggering on the spot and flailing about and not doing a whole lot else right now. Where's my thing? Okay, right, so that's everybody, I believe. Right, now, I'm just going to write, where's my text gone? That you've got a shield next to you, haven't you? So that's going to be that shield. There we go. Just to remind me that you've got your great shield. Right, okay, cool. At this point, it will be the hostiles go as they make their way forward. Let's move on. So,
Oh dear.
Okay, so it's at this point where I'm using my ability totals and you basically oppose with your own. So if I use an ability to attack, then you guys basically oppose with an ability over your own. So let's go to my roll thing. Roll. Plus 4.
All right.
Okay. Right, so this thing lunges at Korba. What was Korba's passive powerhouse again? Was that a 5? It was shooting for 5, wasn't it? Where's my mute?
Wait, Korba. Oh, good. Not me.
Yeah, Desarge.
His passive is a 5 for an action.
Yeah, it was 5. Yeah, that's why it was 2 5s. I was just checking, sorry. So yeah, the thing sort of crawls forward. Korba's got the shield in one hand and the gun in the other, and the thing reaches ahead, grabs the grating, tugs, and like tears with like inhuman strength. This thing is crawling along, and you see it just kind of like rises upwards, gets to its feet, but just like twist. It's like backwards to you. It twists its head down, reaches forward with its legs, so it's like upside down. Reaches, grabs the grating, and tears the grating out of your hands, and then tosses the shield away.
Correct.
That's where the shield is gone, as it just clatters. As this thing just like looks at you with its head sort of upside down. It's at this point, Korba, as you've got this thing where you can see under its neck. You can see something is attached to its neck. It has got something metallic on the back of its neck, which you can now clearly see just because it stood up to throw your shield out of the way. And that's its go.
Okay.
Right.
So it stood up with its like back facing me, or is it actually like chest facing me?
Yeah, so it has basically turned with its back facing you, and it's twisted its spine so that you can see its chest and its head, but as it twisted, you could see something attached to the back of its neck, and it bent over its spine. So it's kind of attacking you backwards. Like, there's no way that person could be alive with its spine bent out of shape that way. And that's the situation. So, and then otherwise, this thing over here is just gonna slowly make its way, crawling. That one seemed to have had a burst of speed, and the others are just slowly making their way towards you.
Come
Okay,
Bro.
so we'll go back to Danjuma. Danjuma, what would you like to do? That creature is within 50 foot of your free move if you wish to.
That guy down there is okay.
Yep.
And this guy up here, is he still there, or is he up there by?
Yeah, he has. I don't know.
Is that the one that went after Sarge?
Yeah, it's up there, still attacking. Yeah, it's right in combat with the Sarge, basically.
If he's sort of busy with the Sarge, I'm gonna go up to him and try to sort of take him by surprise and slice him clean in half with my with this hyper blade, thermal blade.
Okay.
So I kind of doing my sneaky thing and then put full powerhouse that I've got into it. Get off the swords!
Okay, roll your powerhouse in this case.
Wow.
My powerhouse. Okay. Yes. Sorry, I got it now.
That's okay. That's fine.
It is a 2.
2. Okay. Is that what's that adding your powerhouse total?
I rolled a 2 in powerhouse. I don't have anything.
I have any? Oh yeah, I think your character. Hang on.
Well, I've got the 2 close weapons thing. So does that mean I get a plus
yeah,
2?
I believe you use a different ability to check. Let me just check in.
A situational modifier.
Yeah, so I believe you fight with freaking ninja, don't you? I think or something. Let me check. I know this stuff.
With my blade.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you should be adding a 3 to it. So you've got Yep, you've got a score of 3. So, yep, you add 3 to the roll, so that'll be a total of 5.
Okay.
It's use the, and I believe you were using Freaking Ninja, weren't you, as your passive to sneak up behind it.
Right.
So it doesn't know you're there, so it can't use its really high total for powerhouse to oppose you because it's not using sentry duty, so it's not aware of you. So you come up behind the thing, which in your case is actually coming up to like its chest, its stomach, because it's bent. It's like bent over backwards, basically. So you, where do you want to? You can attack it anywhere on the front, basically, because it's twisted itself round and it's attacking the Sarge in reverse, essentially. So how do you want to attack it? Where are you going to stab?
So I'm going, since it's all twisted about right through the thinnest part, and since I'm using my my thermal blade. It says it ignores ignores armor.
Okay. It does indeed.
They're immediately compromised, regardless of status.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, you slash into it with the thermo blade, stab. Where do you want to stab? Do you want to go for the stomach, the chest, the head?
Yeah, I mean, if it's got like a skinnier waist than chest, sort of like. Wherever will be the equivalent so I can sever its spine.
Okay. You stab right down into the spine, punching the thermo blade. The heat flows through it as the armor smokes, as it sort of sets aflame and cuts into the ribs. You just continue to stab and twist and burn as the body spasms around. The person doesn't scream. It seems like the person, though they're not decayed in any sense, you're not sure that they're alive. As you stab into them, they flame and burn, but nothing. It just, the thing briefly sets aflame and then it smokes. But then there seems to be nothing more than that out of it as you stab and splash and stab, and it's still, well, on its feet barely, though it is kind of staggering back and thrashing about. That is the situation. Okay, right. At which point, back to Henderson. What would you like to do, Will?
Right. I need to set fire to more things, like the third bar. But mostly these bad guys. And I want to do another flamethrower, Reno.
Okay. Now, you got an issue here, because if you use the flamethrower... may hit your friends because they're on either side of the nearest creature, unless you want to set off after some of the other creatures.
Don't blame me, dude.
Don't burn me, man.
Actually, your area on it is line and arc, actually, so you should be able to like punch through the thing, and then the fire should spread beyond it. So if you get a high enough collateral damage total, you may be able to flamethrower that thing without hitting your mates.
Alright, I'll go for it. Why not? Let's add some interest. Spice things up a bit. So it's 1d6 plus my collateral, so plus 4. 1d6 plus 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got 10 again. Okay, so you're playing this one as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you
That's a
going to
five.
walk right up to it and flame it, or are you going to take some distance?
Gonna take some distance.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll put you about 10 foot back from it. So yeah, it was using Powerhouse to oppose. So if you got right up to it, it'll be able to wrestle with you, etc.
Yeah.
But in this case, it can't. So you're going up against its freaking ninja that's used for movement instead.
Oh,
So yeah, you get enough success levels and
Hey.
to do enough damage to it as you set this thing aflame. And
Oh, baby burn. Disco Inferno.
yeah, beautiful. There we go. Let's delete the right thing.
Let it all
Oh
burn.
no, that's not what I wanted to delete. Undo that. What do deletes again? Control and Z was it, or Shift and Z?
Control Z should do it for your Windows, yeah.
No. Ow. Keep selecting. But I think my computer is getting slightly. There we go. No, that's the wrong person. There we go. Wrong one. It keeps telling me I can see one thing and another. Right, there we go. Got rid of that one. Right, okay. Right, I'll get that marine back in a minute. Where have we gone? Copy. I knew this was going to happen. Right, who did I delete? That was Danjuma. So let's just rename him again. Here we go. Right, okay. Sorry about that. Right, moving on. It's because I can see different things and I keep getting confused which thing's the secret thing. Right, okay. There we are. That's that one. Okay, next. So that's Henderson's go, at which point we've done Henderson. I've completely forgotten the medic. Right, let's get the medic on. Copy. Right. What would the incredible medic like to do? I apologise, I forgot your last go because I had to manually put all these people on. So let's get Dennis on. Make Dennis wipe his medic.
You got this, Dennis.
I will save the day.
Time to kick some rebel ass, Dennis.
What I was born to do.
I apologise for forgetting Dennis. It's because I had to manually add anything, and that was my bad. Right, what would you like to do for Dennis?
Okay, so first thing, let's just address that Dennis has no intuition or anything. So he will call out to Boomerang and be like, "What do we do?
Burn them.
Okay,
Or just shoot them.
which one?
Both.
You have to be specific.
Just shoot them then.
Okay."
Okay, yes, you can see a creature falling down towards you from this direction. So, yeah, you can open fire. What is it? Dennis has just got a pistol, I believe. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep, okay. So, collateral damage to use your pistol. Probably rolling it is probably a good idea.
Alright, here we go, everyone. It's rolling.
Okay.
It's a 5.
Okay. Yep, you shoot with your 5. Yeah, you shoot at the thing. As you shoot at it, you see it sort of rear and try and move as you're trying to fire at it. This one seems to be responding. You get a 5 and it got a 5. So as you're shooting at it, it's landing, but you can just see the impacts are kind of glancing off its head, its shoulders, etc.
Knees and toes.
With anything you would like to do as your passive ability?
Can I just ask Boomerang if he's proud of me? Do I have to roll for the...
Nearly. Try better next time. I might feel something.
Okay. Boomerang, I mean... That's it.
Okay.
Can't wait to go back in battle.
Okay, right. Right, in this case. Sergeant, what would you like to do?
Is there still one left?
There is one down to the south, yeah.
Cool. So he's going to take up a kneeling position, level his rifle down, and fire on this guy.
Okay.
With an 8.
Ooh. You fire at it with the 8. You fire a sort of energy burst from your kind of enhanced sort of plasma rifle as they sort of fire out and impact with the thing. Again, you see bits where the medic is impacted, you hit further, you can see parts of the body removed and sort of burned and smouldering. It's blackened from head to toe, but it's still somehow there. You can just see this scorched, horrible corpse which continues to crawl. And as it crawls further, it just edges forward 5 foot. The thing starts to writhe about as it drops down onto the floor, smoke writhing from it. As it belches out, you can see its mouth just kind of... It's the only sound that this thing has made whatsoever. So I'm just going to roll the thing.
Nice. Let's have it.
Just Purser.
Okay, right. You see this thing spew out. As you suddenly hear like metallic whirring sounds coming from its body. As you see one of its eyeballs burst open as metallic, like tiny saws cut its way out through an eyeball. You see the other eyeball burst out as well. The small, tiny legs crawl out through the eye sockets. You watch as smaller legs come out through the nose as the front nose of the thing tears off. You then watch as it retches as you see leg after leg after leg after leg after leg. At this point, I apologise for anyone slightly arachnophobic. As tiny little metallic spiders start to like burst out of its mouth as the jaw just stretches open and the cheeks explode and basically the head just explodes outwards with a swarm of metallic spiders. As you can hear the whirring sounds from their saw blade like mouths as they have small little red, tiny little red circular eyes at the top of their heads as they burst out through the head. You see about 10 of these creatures just burst out through the head. And then as they come out through it, you see the spine burst open as you just see the entire body bursting out as lots of these creatures just rip and tear their way out of this corpse. As the corpse disappears and is just horrible tattered remains. As at this point, different will appear. So, that not surprisingly will be a horror. I will sort that in just a moment once I've got a thing on the map.
That is pretty horrific. I think I need a horror check after that.
Yep. So in this case, any Sentry Duty or Chutzpah used would normally oppose it. In the case of Henderson, if I'm remembering correctly, can use collateral damage to oppose horrors, if I remember correctly. Let's just check.
I can.
Yes, you can.
I'm the best.
Via one of your aspects. Because you're just happy killing things, as you've demonstrated by like murdering your girlfriend. Right.
She was my girlfriend, she was a rebel.
Well, indeed. She was a horrible rebel. So, right.
Qualify as a first contact.
It would indeed qualify as first contact.
Hello.
And also, it would qualify as first contact and blood and gore. So in this case, I'll let you guys do the handiwork. So your this will be if you're immune to blood and gore and immune to basically people might be affected by one horror or the other. So I will just do the stats in a minute. I'm just trying to get this thing on the map. There we go. So, okay, so when it says 10 over this spider thing I got there, that's how many spiders there are. There's 10 of these robotic spiders burst out of this body, aka converters. Now, so, blood and gore. Spear's immune to blood and gore, the sergeant. The private's immune to blood and gore because they're a medic. Right, okay, so firstly the blood and gore horror, so the other two characters, so Dan Henderson manages to oppose it, so this will just be Dan Zuma will take some blood and gore, but he's immune to the first contact side of it. So this will be a maximum horror, which will be 9 if you're not vulnerable. So you take 9 minus your Stay Frosty, which should be 7. So that will add 7 to your psychological status for Danjuma. He had a 7 before, so that puts you up to 14. So that means that Danjuma is now appropriately freaking out. This means you have -1 to all abilities for the rest of the scene. Because that's just disturbing. Like, you're fine with the whole robotic spider thing, but you just saw a body explode apart. And I also watched your facial expressions too, the description, so it's interesting. Right. Then we have the first contact horror. So Danjuma's immune to that part of it. So then I think, again, Henderson's just flamethrowing and he's just concentrating on flamethrowing and otherwise fine. So the other two characters will take 9 minus their Stay Frosty. So the Sergeant gets an 8 to psychological status, which he only had a 1 before, so he's got a psychological status of 9. He's still nowhere near freaking out yet. And Kaber has got the minus Stay Frosty, so 6 to her psychological status. Well, his psychological status in the case of the character. So yeah, people starting to feel some actual visible psychological effects now, so feel free to roll that into the roleplay. And on top of that, Danjuma has the -1 penalty for the rest of the scene.
I feel nothing.
Yeah, you can remove freaking out penalties if you can beat a target number of 5, so you can get 6 or higher on Chutzpah. You can use that to calm yourself or someone else down, but it means you need a relatively high Chutzpah to pull that off. So that is an option. Otherwise, you're stuck with a -1 penalty for the scene in the case of Danjuma. So that's my go with the Converter Swarm, and I'm going to move them ahead. So, as you see this big massive swarm of things moving together in like a blanket of tiny robotic spiders. As they move their way towards you, you can hear the sounds coming from them. Okay, so back to the top. So this will be Danjuma. So what would you like to do next?
Fucking things ripped him apart. So here's a question for me: are we at the next beat in this scene?
Yep, you're on your next beat. So in a narrative scene, the beats kind of go together, so people just take their actions whenever they want to. In this case, it's just a beat when you have your turn, basically.
Okay.
So I can on that turn. So yes, you are on a new beat.
So it says I can use my brains to attack with explosives.
Yep.
So I would like to use my big bada boom aspect.
Yep.
And my brains to throw the contact mine at the spider swarm.
Okay. Very good. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so you can use your brains in this case. So I take, roll a d6, add your brain score, and see if you can big bada boom them to death.
So I need to roll a... Seven.
Hey.
Awesome. So, as you are throwing it, it's harder to throw a contact mine than other things. So a thrown weapon would normally be 5 foot per success level. The success level being a target number of 1 because you're just trying to lob it. But in this case, even with a penalty, you're still going to easily get the contact mine to where the converters are on the map. So yeah, you dramatically throw the contact mine as we cut to the mine as it spins slow motion towards the converters, and we cut to the top of the contact mine as the lights blink on the top. Right, okay. Now, the converters had a passive freaking ninja to move because they do crawl in, so they've got a total of 4. You've got a total of 8, so that's 4 success levels. So you hit them. You can increase. Standard blast weapon is 10 foot, and you can use success levels to boost it. So you can basically do a big enough blast radius to engulf all of the converters, and the converters are blown to pieces. Would you like to add any extra description for their glorious demise?
Fucking things that coming out of the bodies. God damn it.
I don't like
this. That's not a rebel. That's a fucking spider.
That's a rebel spider.
As the mine flies, boom, and then the action scene comes to, with that's a rebel spider. And as you were in a narrative scene, and we had thrown into an action scene, so we can carry on now as you guys continue to explore. But I think at that point, you continue on your way for the dropship bay, I assume. So
Yeah.
we will bring that scene and the dramatic attack music to an end. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for bearing with me on my slight map failure.
That's all right.
No worries.
And then,
Hope it's enjoyable nonetheless. I tried to learn how to use Roll20 in a day, so it's currently 20 past 2 in the morning, so I'm amazed I'm awake. Right, we shall proceed as you guys leave the dropship bay area. So I'm just going to put the Roll20 thing back to the full image and leave it on there for now. Go back to description mode. So, you've got two choices now. You've seen what's in front of you, but let's let you guys discuss what you want to do next and react to the creatures. So yeah, I will let you guys roll and play this bit. So yeah.
okay. That was a tough battle. What the hell were those things?
Aliens infected with metallic spiders.
But aliens don't exist. There are only rebels.
Rebel aliens and rebel spiders working together.
Alien rebel spiders.
That's the worst kind of rebel.
That's the worst kind of spider.
And the worst kind of alien.
Because they're rebels and aliens and
And
spiders.
spiders.
Oh
And
my!
I think we've cracked
And
it.
bloody.
We should go see the wizard.
Actually, we should go to the bridge. Wasn't that what we were supposed to do?
Yes.
Ah, yes, the bridge. I like bridges.
All right, warriors, rally on me. And I like how we've all adapted Will's voice.
I know we all have done taken on Will's voice.
I'm
It's
fine.
fine, you all guys are good. Yeah.
It's canon. It's canon.
It's fine.
Warriors, rally on me.
I'll do my sentry duty.
Okay.
Point.
Excellent. Yeah, as we'll go to the as we go rally on me, as you guys continue on as you exit the dropship bay area and continue on your way through the ship. We were in beat 1 of the narrative scene. What can happen is you can go into an action scene, and then if the purpose of the previous scene continues, I can just carry straight on. So we're just going to go to beat 2 of the narrative scene you were in, as you guys smash your way through the enemy and continue onwards. So. As you exit the central escape pod area, you go for another crawl shoot. As you enter that area, you come into the naval officers' quarters. The door to this area has been smashed, torn to pieces. It looks like it's been shredded through. You can see a large amount of holes that have basically come through this door. You can then see, give me a sentry duty total for Danjuma. Do you want to do active or a passive? I'll give you more details.
Nice. Pretty done as well.
So yeah, what the sentry duty total was Danjuma got? Or axe.
Oh, okay. So,
Or anybody else who wants to do sentry duty as well? I just know that
I'm gonna do a sentry duty.
Go ahead. Want to do it as an active or a passive?
Just a passive. So 1d6 plus 2.
Okay. Yep. So if you're doing a passive, it will say on your sheet, or just have a passive score for
Got a 7.
7. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're looking around, you notice that, it looks like those tiny little spiders have torn their way through this door, and then you can see an area on the other side of the door where there's loads of blood. It looks like they burrowed through this door and then found people on the other side and have attached themselves, as far as you can tell. You can see just where the blood, where not massive amounts of blood, but, spray kind of across the walls and ceilings. So it looks like they've kind of gone high, and then the spray has sort of gone. So yeah, from what you can tell from your Century Duty tavern, it looks like they've burrowed through the top of the door and then leapt onto these people and then let fly with their mechanical blade mouths that you briefly got a sight of before they got contact mined to death.
What the hell? More alien rebel spiders. I don't like it. Keep an eye out, guys.
Does it look like they're in the bodies that are there?
The bodies aren't here. You could just tell where there must have been people, and then there's like a blood sprays on the wall. So there's no actual bodies here. It looks like they've
Axe, eyes on a swivel, man. Eyes on a swivel.
Keep 2 eyes out for the 8 eyes.
Eye for an eye, I say.
Yeah, an eye for 8 eyes. We got this. We just need to get to the bridge. And once we get to the bridge, I'm sure everything will become much clearer.
Yeah, so you guys, with that, make your way through the naval officer's quarters. It's been trashed. You can see where as you make your way through, you don't find any people here. You find quite a bit of blood, but no dead bodies, just blood.
There are no bodies. What could this mean?
It means those spiders animated these just like they animated the aliens. So now we've got rebel spider mechanical marines. Rebels. Bodies. Corpses.
Alien, marine, spider, body mutants.
Rebels.
Rebels.
Space!
We need a catchy name for these guys.
I think that one's good. I want that to be my pet name.
Maybe we could down
ROUSs.
alien, rebel, mutant,
Yeah.
spiders.
Arms.
Arms. Arms, we'll call them.
The arms.
I love it. It's great. They've had another name in different games, so it's because their first appearance was slightly different, but I'll explain that at the end. But they have a colloquialism among some of my friends. So yeah, you guys continue on, finding more bloodshed, but no signs of actual bodies anywhere. You realise in this section you have to slam your visors down because the air seems to have gone. Once you've opened the airlock, it all sort of sucks out. You get to the end of this sort of section through many floor after floor, just going down the main corridors, and there is a more tiny holes where it looks like more of these things have burrowed through the floor, and then there are some larger holes which look like human-sized, but again they look like they've been finely cut through the metal. As then you look downwards into a chamber many hundreds of feet below you, where you can see the front prow of another ship which has collided with this ship. You can see the circular nose of the ship and little aerial sort of mast which was being mangled as it's come through the ship. And you've got hundreds of feet of darkness. But as your helmet lights look out, Henderson can clearly make out across the nose of this ship. You can see where there are the black distant shapes. You can't quite clearly make them out, but you can see shapes that appear to be leaping off the front of this ship and disappearing down into the darkness. And downwards is where you need to go to get to the bridge.
Okay.
And there is just a massive cavern below you. There were once several floors here, but the several floors have been punched through by this big massive ship. And there are a few pieces of metal sticking out, protruding here and there that you can see. But otherwise, the floor is, there's not much structure left to this part of the section. You can just see where all the air has been sucked out, and there's just an empty space of several hundred feet with just jagged bits of metal sticking out the walls every few feet or so. So it'd be possible to get down it, because it's in 0G.
Okay, we can do this, guys. Just look out for any arms along the way, and make sure you use your arms and legs to get down.
Boomerang, how many of those turrets do you have left?
How many of those tarts? I've got 12 Pop-Tarts right now. Have one.
Turrets, Boomer, turrets.
Turrets? Oh, right, turrets.
You've got 3.
I've got several of those left.
Maybe you should put one down to cover our retreat.
Good idea. If any of these arms come this way, I'll be sure to make sure that they're not armless anymore. Okay, I don't know where I was going. Okay,
That really got away.
I'll shoot off their arms with my arms.
that works. Yes. And I put the turret down to cover our retreat.
Okay, cool. So you open up the case on your back. It kind of like automated opens up, and you take out this big minigun turret, which folds out, legs fold out from the bottom, and light blink on the top. You just say, turret drone activated. Put it down. Beginning sweep as the turret sweeps from left to right. And watches your back.
Okay, let's go. I think we're ready.
Indeed you are. So you're going to need ability totals now to get down to the bottom of the thing. Will has used his passive ability, so you've got an active ability left.
I do.
Everybody else has got active or passive in a narrative scene to use on this. Beat true.
I'll use Powerhouse so that I'm also kind of ready for close weapons, and I got a 6 in that.
Okay, excellent. So you use your 6. So Danjuma is first. Please describe how would you like to navigate your way down the 0G area of like broken bits of metal floor with a big huge cruiser piercing up through those floors. How would you like to describe getting your way down?
He's kind of doing 0G parkour, but instead of it being landing and bouncing, he's pushing and bouncing, powerhousing down, using muscle strength to push him sort of down the passageway.
Excellent.
Doing a couple of flips along the way, looking cool.
Very cool indeed. I like it. So cool. Right. Would who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna make as many cheesy comments as I can along the way, whilst I swing down over the edge and kind of try to crawl down, inspired by the arms.
Cool. Okay. So what ability are you using to make your way down?
I'm gonna use my freaking ninja ability.
Okay. Rolling out your freaking ninja.
Alright, I don't have anything in it, so it's just 1d6.
Okay. So just roll it. Yeah.
I'm feeling ballsy.
Feeling ballsy.
6.
Yeah!
Nice.
Dude, you in the rolls tonight, man.
He's
I'm
rolling well. Rolling
Okay,
well.
Sydney's rolling for me from now on.
Yeah. Rolling well is less important when you got high scores and things, but when you have no scores,
Exactly.
that's all that you have. So that's good. Yeah, you're ballsy. You were rewarded for your balls. Please
Thank
describe. Well, you
Crystal
climb
awarded me
down,
my balls,
climb
guys.
down as well as Danjuma. So please describe your own more stealthy, more agile approach as you're using freaking ninja.
Okay, so wait, is this me? Sorry.
Yep, it's you.
So I'm gonna. What's up, heroes? Going good, dude. What I'm gonna do actually, my ninja approach is gonna be, you know how in all like video games and action movies they just slide down like ladders, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
This is the game for that. Okay, yeah, you just slide your way down with your fingers gripped into the metal with sparks flying from them as you just slide down after Danjuma. Okay, right. Dennis, how is Dennis going to make his way down? The mighty Dennis should have said.
Yes.
Usually what Dennis is gonna do is just like yell out, "Catch me, Boomerang! Catch me!" And like trust fall.
So you're just going to yell out, "Catch me, Boomerang," and throw yourself down.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a powerhouse to lob yourself down or drop and give me 50, one or the other.
Alright then. Okay, so okay. I got it. Everything is fine. 9.
Nine. Amazing. You're like 3 success levels higher than the other 2. So describe the most amazing descent as you plunge your way to Henderson and not only grab onto him, but take him with you. Please describe.
Wow. So you grab on
Dive.
as we're like monkey,
Yes, spider monkey.
spider monkey onto me as I'm sliding down. Oh my god, as we're going down. Goodness, you're so heavy.
No, I'm not. I weigh 90 pounds.
But I'm so strong. So
As the two of you spiral down together, it's
yes. A beautiful tumble.
I don't know what makes me
Olympic
harder, you on my
diving.
back or me on this ladder. Whee.
and then finally, right at the back, it's the Sarge. Sarge.
So he watches all of these people just do nonsense down this hole. He shoulders his assault rifle and pulls out his harpoon gun, harpoons it into the ceiling, and then slides the rope down.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, you do the more traditional, cool slide as you slide your way down. Okay, so what ability would you like to use for that?
I think I would be using. Let me scroll up. Powerhouse.
Yep, powerhouse would be fine.
So I have a. This is a narrative, right? I have a narrative 7 on that.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you can easily do your as befits your description. So I'm just going to turn this music down. There we go. Right. Okay. Oh. All right. Cool. So yeah, you guys all make your way to the bottom of this. What was once many different quarters, training areas, etc., mess halls, all the various parts where all the naval crew of the ship used to live, has just been destroyed. As you guys make your way down, you see the airlock ahead of you is open as you go to the bridge crew escape pod area. So on the way to the bridge have their own special escape pod area, which they should be getting to. But as you enter through here, you don't hear the sound of gunshots because all the atmosphere has been vented in this part of the ship. But you do see muzzle flashes, and the power is on in this section as you enter another big, long, open, massive chamber with more escape pods. However, moving their way through the escape pods, you can see lots and lots and lots of people. These people are dressed in standard sort of civilian clothing, presumably clothing that traders may be dressed in, as they are making their way in a legion towards the bridge. You can see the muzzle fire from the bridge opening. It looks like the bridge doors are open and the former people attacking are being fired upon as we get to the final.
Oh my god.
Final action
Burn
of
the
the
fire.
game. So,
There are so many arms here. How can we tell them from the regular people?
Oh my
God.
god.
For the regular arms.
There are so many normal arms and yet so many bad arms. Oh my god.
it's at this point where you have one more beat left to the narrative scene, and the enemy have not seen you. So you can use the last beat of the scene to get a drop on your enemy, essentially, and to see how you want to approach them.
I'm big bad at booming again.
Okay, excellent. So you're going to get your. Do you want to basically sneak up on them and drop and throw lob another contact mine in? Is that the plan?
Yeah. So yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so this is a narrative scene, so you can use your narrative bonuses here. So you can passively sneak if you want, which will be even higher, and then throw to lob your collateral damage, or you can do it the other way around.
So is that ninja or is that sentry?
So freaking ninja is for stealth, so lobbing the grenade again, the mine will be your brains again, so you can, probably roll the brain, probably the most likely option, because that's your most important thing.
Yep. So let's go with that.
Yep.
So
Basically, if you use any freaking ninja against these things, that's generally going to work, because they're not really, as you noticed, much for paying attention to things. Okay, so
creep up and I'm gonna do a nice discus throw of the contact mine.
Okay.
Swing.
Cool. Right, so in this case, I'm just going to set up the final battle map as you're sneaking up on them. So what was your total again to lob the mine?
I need to roll for one of these. I'm sorry, because I can't use both passives, right?
You can't use both as passive, no. So you basically have two ability types. One is an active, and then the other is a passive. So
7.
7. That's pretty damn good because it's quite hard to throw contact mines, but you've done a good job. So basically, want to find like the closest cluster of people and lob a bomb on them. Is that the general plan?
Just
Okay, right.
Get them good.
Just going to do my line of sight on this map, and then I'll make things visible.
blasted arms. Blast the arms. Blast them.
As you move in to blast the arms. Right. So, you will lob a contact mine. I'm just going to cut and see what everybody else wants to do. So that we cut from Danjuma as he sneaks ahead and then lobs in a mine. What do the rest of you guys want to do in your final beat and narrative scene? You basically got the drop on the enemy, so this is your chance to take out a bunch of them.
I'm gonna flamethrower the entire room.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They're all arms.
Throw an arm on the Barbie for me.
Excellent. Right, so I will have... Yeah, so that's the collateral damage for you in that case. So probably, again, rolling that is probably sensible.
Yeah, so that is going to be... My damage is a 4, so 1d20 plus... 1d6 plus 4. That's my instinct there. And thank you to X12A8X for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and scholar. Whatever. Rolled a 9.
Roll a 9. Very good. Okay. Right. I will work out the destruction you've wreaked after hand wheel totals, and then I can get, while I'm getting my map ready. Mighty Dennis. What would the Mighty Dennis like to do?
Come on, Dennis. You got this, boy.
Suddenly inspired. I guess he'll try to like imitate the style of Boomerang, like the same stance he has when he's like shooting things. But all he has is like pistols, so I guess that's what we'll do.
Okay. Right, so that'll be collateral damage to fire the pistol. Again, active, so rolling and adding the score is probably your best option there.
Alright, then 7.
Nice. Okay, so a pistol has a singular area on the weapon, so that means that if you hit a target, success levels you get to beat the target, so the number by which you beat the target number, will add extra targets on top. And because Danjuma stealthed his way over and got you guys close in, it's going to allow you to wreak a lot of damage, basically. So you can probably hit some extra targets, or you can hit one target repeatedly and have a much greater chance of taking them down. Okay, so you got 7. Right. Okay, and then the Mighty Sergeant.
Yeah, so he's going to see that everyone has, launched some attacks at them. He's going to pull 2 grenades off of his chest. One is an EMP grenade and one is a plasma grenade. Activate them, boop, and then throw them both in opposite directions into the crowd.
Nice.
Hoping to knock out these spiders with his EMP grenade and blow up the remainder.
Cool. Okay. So as you're throwing your grenades, you can use your powerhouse for that if you like.
Yeah, and I have a passive of 7 on that.
Okay, so you use the passive 7. Right, so you've all got other ability types you can use if you wish to further prepare. So Danjuma used Freaking Ninja and used Brains to sneak and to bomb. So as the Sergeant has used his passive to lob his grenades, what you want to do is your active ability.
I'm gonna activate Chutzpah and kind of rally the troops.
Okay.
Let's go,
Right.
guys! Kill these arms.
So please roll and add your Chutzpah score.
Max it out, 7.
7. The target number to inspire people is 5, so you get 2 success levels. So that means that you can give a +2 bonus to a Marine of your choice. Who would you like to give a +2 bonus to?
Whoever's next.
Okay. Well, you can basically add bonuses to people that have already done stuff, so you basically effectively increase their total. So you can up. You could up Danjuma's 8 to an even more destructive 10 if you wanted, so he'll have an even bigger blast.
Yeah, sure.
Or you could up the flamethrower death or the pistoly death. So Which
Yeah,
one
no,
do you want to make even
We'll
better?
get a bigger blast radius, kill more people.
Okay, cool.
Good idea.
Right, I'm just going to work out how much destruction you guys now cause between you. But before I do that, Dennis still has a passive ability and Henderson still has a passive ability. So, are there anything you guys want to do for your passive abilities? You've opened fire. You could use your other abilities to like get ready to move into cover or something like that, or whatever else.
I just want to yell, "Hoorah!"
Hoorah, Marines!
That's fine. You can. That's not an ability. You can yell hoorah. That's fine. Chutzpah can be used to yell hoorah and be inspiring about it, but yeah, that's fine. You yell hoorah. Okay, Dennis, anything you want to use your passive ability? So you're shooting. Anything else you want to do?
What? Me?
Your passive ability is anything you
So
want to do.
you're opening fire with your active ability. Don't want to do anything with your passive ability. So you're shooting. You could always use your. Essentially, if I attack you, your ability total is what you use to defend. So before they were really, really slow, so you were mostly getting up on them, taken out in the distance. But that guy who was using powerhouse and had the grate was defending with his powerhouse, which is why he tossed the grate away, but then couldn't defend being shot at by a flamethrower because Henderson wasn't in close range. So this means that if you're attacked, your 7 on collateral damage is what will be used to defend against my attack. So you've got another passive ability total, which you can use as some other defense, or if you want to just do something else. So
Inspired monkey on me.
I was about to say that. I want to run behind Boomerang and
Okay.
just like wrap my bony ass arms around his torso.
Okay, in that case, that would be a you can. You can move for free because it's a narrative scene. So I'm going to use your passive powerhouse to wrap yourself around Henderson and keep him safe. Do you want to use your mag shield as well and put it in front of him?
Yes, I will protect you.
Okay, so your
Yeah,
powerhouse gives you,
Kick me
that
with
gives
it,
you a +2 bonus to your powerhouse, which means you'll have. So what's your narrative scene passive powerhouse?
4.
4. So that'll up it to a 6, basically. So you've got 2 defenses, basically, a 6 and a 7 for me to beat. And you also provide the 6 to Will, because you're putting a shield in front of him.
Woo!
Nice.
Very helpful.
Alright, well, I rolled a 7.
Okay,
I
so
rolled
you
a
don't
1.
need to roll for that one, that's just your passive, so yeah, that's fine. So yeah, means you have one ability to roll with, and one which is just a score that is predefined. So that's cool, so you get your 7 and your 6. Right, now let me work out the flamey death. Will, if you want to do random chat with people or whatever for a brief moment while I just work out the sheer
Sure
map
thing, guys.
and move things from my map.
Things are moving, people. So if you're enjoying this, you can find the core here. I have the core is on Kickstarter right now. You can go and grab it there. If you're enjoying this show, you can follow us on the Twitch, the Twitters, the Facebook, the Instagrams, all of these things you can find us on. And we post all the time. We're here 5 nights a week, 10 shows every week, playing D&D mostly, along with Call of Cthulhu and a bunch of other tabletop role-playing games like this one here. So you can find us all the time. Also, if you miss any of our shows, you can grab us on YouTube as well. We're here all the time. Every day, more videos go up. So if you ever miss a stream, it's up the next day onto our YouTube channel, where you can miss this one as well if you missed any of it throughout the week as well. What else? We're giving away a copy of the Player's Handbook. You can find there. And also, Ed Greenwood is coming on the show next Tuesday, and he is giving away 10 of his novels, one of which is hardback and signed. You can find a link for that there. We're pretty excited about meeting Ed Greenwood very soon. So yeah, I think that is all. You can find Mike's channel over here. He is the Eeyore of Encounter Roleplay, so you can find Mike there. Mike, what do you do?
On Mondays, I make this face.
Yeah.
And on my channel, I do a lot of talking because I'm the DM of most of my games. We have a 12-hour stream coming up on Sunday, which is right after, I think, your 24-hour stream, Will?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, so we got a 12-hour stream on that, and that's pretty much it. We do the same thing Will does, but more American.
Nice. Awesome. And Talk School, have you got any projects going on at the moment that you want to let folks know about?
I'm still working on my campaign, which is based off of Critical Role. It's sort of an alternate version of Ilsira, which is the continent that Vasselheim is on. And since we don't know much about it from Matt's program yet until his book comes out, I'm setting my campaign either 45 to 65 years beyond where the TV show is, and have all sorts of fun things going on. So
Also,
hope to start running that in the fall. Got some play testing to do and lots more details to work out. But until then, you'll see me lurking about here, hopefully.
awesome. Cool. You feeling ready, Chris?
Just getting there. Sorry, I had shitloads of things on this map that I'm just sporadically deleting. So you can keep nattering for a little bit if you wish. I'm getting there. I've worked it all out. It's just shitloads of deleting. I apologise. I also apologise for my swearing. Sorry about that. Very, very tired. Right.
Yeah, it's getting late over there in
I've
the
worked out
UK.
the bomb, I've worked out the flamethrower, I've worked out the pistol. I just need to work out the 2 impeding grates. Right. So, 7. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I got it. Right, almost there. I'm literally just deleting things. I did all the maths instantly. Right, I'm just really slow at this whole online thing. Right, okay. You're a good head for numbers. Not a good head for... there we go. Right, I just need to copy and paste the Marines in now. There we
So
go.
good. If you guys want to...
I am almost ready to go.
There is a tweet here for you folks to retweet if you so desire to do so. And oh man, actually we're getting close towards the end of the session actually, but it's
Yeah, I'm on the last bit now.
a climactic finale here with the arms. Who knows what will come next, guys?
Arms and spiders.
I love the arms name, by the way. That's
Yeah.
gonna stick. It's gonna stick with me.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to drop you guys right in the middle because you've got the drop on the enemy. Alright, we've got an airlock with you. Let's get rid of that. Hooray! I did it. Right.
Huzzah! Victory is ours.
I'd probably be better at this if it wasn't 3 in the morning, to be fair, I will admit, but doing my best. I
Very
think
good, man.
that will, aren't you? Right, okay.
So, to remind you guys who are playing as well, if you're just tuning in, I'm playing Boomerang. Mike is playing the Sergeant Corba. Tosco is playing Danjuma, and Sydney's playing the the indefatigable Dennis.
Yeah, we did have another name, but we've just gone for Dennis now. That's fine. It's cool.
I like Dennis. I like Dennis a lot.
It took me a while to go, which character is that? Oh, it's Cabra. Oh, it's fine. Oh, Cabra doesn't work as a name now anymore. She's not remotely Scottish, so we'll go with Dennis. Fine. I think when I originally designed the characters, it was just for people I like to do accents. But instead we've gone for all American, which also makes sense. It's
Nice.
just I'm hilariously a British guy that designed a very kind of American sounding game.
Yeah.
I just love this genre, so there we go. That's simply it. Right. I think I've got it now. Yes. Right.
Yeah, me and Chris actually live in the same city.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
We do indeed. Yeah, Birmingham. Fortunately, I seem to have mostly escaped a Birmingham accent. I do have the occasional twang. It's usually at the end of sentences. Right. You guys will be glad to know that you've nearly destroyed everything.
Excellent.
I had like 50 guys on this map. There's now a lot less guys. So that's why it's taken me ages. In I Love the Core, you can easily do massive fights because one ability total can be used for like a legion of bad guys. So the end's job pretty easy. Admittedly, normally when I'm running stuff, I just have a pre-made sheet which comes with a book for writing stuff down, which I can't really have on a computer and stuff. But I seem to have handled that bit. Right, okay, there we go. It would be slightly easier if Roll20 was adapted to my game, but you know, I'm doing it. Right, okay, I think I've got it there, guys. Just working out the line of sight. Yeah, I think I've got you all on the right map now. Yeah, I'll put copy and paste the Marines.
So we could describe our actions whilst you're setting up the rest of the stuff.
You can indeed. Yeah, tell me what you want to do. I've done that now. Got it ready. So currently you've got within about let's get my measure out. So you've got On the left of Corba, we have two within about 30 foot, two former people converted. We have about two within 30 feet on the right, and then there are some more that can be seen further in the distance off on the right-hand side. Ahead of you, you have the bridge, where there are some crew who are stood behind some barrels and things that they've got and are violently defending. With the massive explosions and flamethrower bursting, you've destroyed a lot of the drop pods around you, but there is still a drop pod in front which you can always move to take cover, and there are also some drop pods behind. But you do have like a cluster of few on the immediate right within about 50 foot, and then you've got some much further off at like the periphery of your vision. And that's the current situation. Okay, so we'll begin with the sergeant because he's the squad leader. So, Sergeant, what would you like to do?
So how far are these guys on the right, this cluster of dudes?
You've got the ones on the right-hand side. So the closest, about 45 feet. And then you've got, 75. So they are all within range of your rifle, so you can hit those guys.
Alright, so this is a new scene, right?
This is indeed a brand new action scene in the final action scene.
Alright, cool. So I'm going to go for like in between these two little groups on the guys on the right hand side, and I'm going to throw out my EMP grenade at those guys.
Awesome. Okay. Powerhouse in that case.
Yep. Let me see. I'll roll for that. Plus 5. Doot. Plus 5. 11.
Okay.
Maxed it out.
Cool. Very good. Right. Okay, so you, lob your EMP grenade. Alright, okay, so the EMP grenade flies out. You see this burst of energy fly out from the grenade. It will encompass... Are you going for the nearest two on the right? Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, as many of them as I can get on the right.
Yep, okay. So yeah, you will engulf those guys. What was your total again? Sorry, it was 11.
11.
Oh, massive. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can do a big, massive burst on that one. So you land it sort of in between the two groups over here, and this big burst comes out as you can use. You've got again loads of extra success levels. Now these things are just moving, so I'm just going to roll now to see what they get to oppose you, as they were currently all running at the bridge, so they're not unprepared anymore as you've opened fire on them. So, okay, so you get an 11, they get a 10. So this is what happens. You lob the grenade, and you get a success level over them, so the grenade will hit them first before they can move. But even when it's not your go and I love the core, if you've got a movement ability, you can move as well. But you basically hit first. You get a success level, so the success level will hit these two here, and will destroy them. So, as you throw the EMP grenade, you see this burst of energy as the two people just go, just jerk about, actually completely soundless, and then you just see they drop down to the floor, and as they hit the floor, you see at the back of their necks, they've both got metallic spiders, which...
Oh my god!
These spiders flail and jerk and then drop off them, and then just electrical energy crackles through them, and then they collapse because you just EMP'd them. As they detach from the bodies, you can see these holes that they bored into their necks.
Sweet.
As the two
job.
disappear, as you learn a little bit more about how these creatures work. However, as you were trying to attack both groups, these ones, you only got enough success levels to engulf the first two. So these two over here are going to move forward. Now, they are, however, let's get that. So they've got a 10. So yeah. Oh, they've got enough to just get to Dennis. And Henry.
Dennis.
No, Dennis!
Not Dennis!
This is where Dennis dies!
But actually, Dennis is wrapped around Henderson, so Henderson should be...
Game over, man!
right
Game
in front.
over!
So they're actually coming at Henderson and Dennis, because Dennis is wrapped around Henderson.
Put him down. Put him out.
There you go, wrap Dennis around Henderson. We've now got her Dennis, as it says on the map. I've attached them together. I didn't know you could do that. Right, so yeah, these two come charging. Now, this wasn't my go. That was just a result of one total versus another. So it means that if you're using Drop and Give Me 50 as one of your abilities, and somebody attacks you, and you succeed, or you get hit, but you're okay, you can continue to move as well. Gives you a bit more of a military firefight feel, and also means you're doing more stuff. So that is that code for Corba. Anything you want to use for your passive ability for Corba or the sergeant?
No, we're good.
Okay, it's cool. You're just going to go with your shooting power, or throwing power in your case.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's cool. Okay, right. Well, as they're right on top of Henderson and Dennis, we'll go for Henderson and Dennis. So, Henderson, what are you going to do next?
I'm gonna wait.
Save me, Father. I mean, Boomer.
I'm gonna get my flamethrower and I'm gonna burn, baby.
Okay,
Burn, baby, burn.
roll and add your collateral damage score.
Boy, 1d6 plus 4. Thank you. Time to say goodnight to your arms.
9.
9.
Nice. Okay, so they come running at you as you blast them with the flamethrower. Now I have the total of 10, which means I get a success level. So technically, you have a negative success level to hit them, which is a positive for me. So they're going to continue to move, basically.
Damn.
As they get on left and right, as you shoot fire at them and they come at left and right at you. Again, these things are crawling across the floor, spider style. They are people, they're not moving people. As they're going left and right as you, damn, as you spray the fire in front of you. Okay, anything you want to use as your passive ability?
Nah. I'm good.
Oh, okay, you sure? Can be an advantage to do more than one thing.
It's my last.
If you wish.
I've got my. I got Grease Monkey. Can I set up a turret?
Yeah, you use your Grease Monkey and set up a turret. So what's your passive Grease Monkey in an action scene?
It's free.
Okay, so I'm going to let you, you 2 successes, so yeah, you can slam out both of your turrets.
Nice.
Okay, so the turrets are going to appear. Now, I did put the turrets somewhere. Let me find, where did I put them?
Things are getting serious.
I do have some turret icons hiding around. I've hidden them too well. Hang on, I hid them on another map. Just give me a moment. Pretty tunnel map I didn't use, but I know they're on.
We don't have to have them on. It's all good.
Okay, ship section tunnel. Aha, got them. Copy and paste.
Aha.
Get the right layer, Chris. Get the right layer.
Don't worry, Dennis. I'm gonna protect you
Thank you.
with flames and fire. The only way I know now.
Yeah, I was.
Shoot you in the back of the head like I did Catherine.
Adam was a best one.
She was a rebel.
Same thing.
Probably an arm too. She did have 2 arms.
She's probably a spider too.
Most likely. Most women are. Am I right, lads?
Bazinga.
I love the core.
And the core loves you, my friend. The core loves you. As you pull out the 2 turrets. Bam, bam, there they are.
There
That's
we
3
go.
turrets. Let's get rid of 1 because you put 1 down earlier. There we go. 2 turrets. Right on your left and right. Right in front of the things. They're going to open fire. Right. Turrets are friendlies. Friendlies, don't roll dice because friendlies aren't that good. However, they are turret drones, so they have 1 plus 4 to attack. That's it. They basically just use static scores. So they're going to shoot at these things right in front of them. Now, these targets are in short range. That means they cannot use movement to avoid, because you can't duck out the way of a minigun in your face. So, they're dead. Well done, Will. They're dead. As the turrets will blast these things to pieces as the bodies just fall apart to shreds. As the bodies fall apart, Dennis and Henderson will notice that as the bodies fall to pieces, dozens of metallic spiders fall out of the bodies, but they wriggle about, writhe, are covered partially in organic fluid, and just cease to work. They seem to be like partially grown. As you look down at the spiders, some of them don't have all of their legs. Some of their eyes are only partially formed. They don't necessarily have all of their blades. And as you drop these bodies apart, you see parts of the internal organs of these people drop down onto the ground. And you notice that, like, inside of one of these guys' heart, the turrets just blast them to pieces. Like, just this spider thing slides out of it.
Oh my god.
The internal organs have turned transparent, and inside them as you notice, one person has got stomach and intestines, and then inside of that, you can just see them writhing about as these little metallic spiders grow inside the body.
Gross.
Yep. Yep, and those guys are dead. Right. Okay, Dennis, what would you like to do?
Could I take the shield that I have and beat it with it, whack it?
Yeah. Okay. You use Powerhouse, and you can mash into those corpses and the things inside the organs. Yep.
Good job,
Yes.
son.
I've been waiting for so long to hear you say that.
I mean that in a non-farvely way, just in a bro way.
Oh, bro, I rolled a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you take your shield and just slam it. 1, 2. You see this pile of intestines lying on the floor. These things are just slowly sloughing out of it, and as they come out, you just smash one, then smash another, and then continue to smash the half-formed converters to bits. Very good. Anything you want to use for your passive ability?
Wow.
Anything else you want to do? You do have a gun. There are other targets, so you could shoot as well if you wanted, or do something else. There are 2 targets off on the left, and then there are many more off on the right. They're quite...
Shoot him up.
Yeah, I'll shoot.
Okay. The 2 guys on the left will definitely be within your pistol range. The other ones are... you can hit things beyond your normal weapon range, but you just have to hit a higher target number for the range before you can hit the target, so it just makes it less likely to shoot them. So yeah, you open fire. So what's your passive collateral damage in an action scene?
My passive collateral 2.
2. Okay, so you open fire. These things, as you open fire at them, these things continue to run as they get many, many success levels. So as you turn around and cut loose on them, these 2 run forward. So, select one. Deselect, Chris. Right, there we go. So yeah, one runs at the Sarge, and one runs at Danjuma. At which point we go to Danjuma's go as one of these creatures runs at him. As unfortunately we did 2 total, it gives me 6 success levels, so the things are basically now going crazy and running at you really fast, where before they were just slowly moving. These things more spasming wildly as they come at you. So it will be Danjuma's go next, or Axe. So Axe, you're up. What would you like to do?
So I'd like to hit the one who's right there behind me with my my thermal sword.
Okay, excellent.
His arms off.
Cool. So that'll be your powerhouse. So you're gonna dice roll it.
I'm not gonna dice roll it because I want to dice roll something different later.
That's a key thing, because in this case I've rolled really high before to charge forwards, so that means my other total might be much lower. So you've got your powerhouse, which is your power score is 3, so you add 1 to an passive ability, so it'll be a total of 4. So yeah, in this case, as I've rolled to move, you will indeed likely be able to hit them. Let me just check my total. Some range, yeah. Okay, yeah, you get 2 success levels to hit this one. Where are you going to slash it or stab it?
I'm gonna chop its head. Actually, I'm gonna chop its legs off.
Okay. It comes at you, and you spin round as the thing is charging behind you, and you spin and you slice, and as it just burns, it easily cuts through. As the legs just fly off in both directions, the thing lands down on the ground with just a mighty crunch, and it just writhes looking at you. You can see the body starting to twitch in front of you. What would you like to do for your active ability?
So I actually now, because that was with my powerhouse.
Yeah.
I want to run.
Yep.
Level 2, which means I can move long range.
Yep.
I want to run towards this big group of people because this is where I want to roll something. I want to roll my big bada boom, and I know myself to try to blow up something that, use my mind to blow up either one of these shuttles, something that's explosive in the hangar bay, basically just blow the fuck out of this place.
Okay. Well, you've got two choices. You can move 50 foot for free. That's not going to get you quite close enough to bomb them. Or you can do the 100-foot option, but that means you need to roll drop and give me 50, I think. So, but that means
Powerhouse won't give me.
No, so you've used your powerhouse for stabbing. So you can use drop and give me 50 for running, but it means you will have to attack them on the next beat. It means that you'll definitely be able to get up to them. So there's a bit of a toss-up choice there.
So then, I'll run.
Okay.
I'll run to get
Roll,
up.
drop, and give me 50, and we'll see how far you get.
Drop and give me 50 is a 4, so d6 plus 4. 8.
Awesome. So you drop down the target number of movement by 2. So normally, to get 100 foot is medium range. So that's the target number of 5. So for you, that's 3. Long range drops down from 8 to 6. So you've got an 8, so you've got 2 success levels. So you can indeed get as close as you want to get to these creatures as you do a super sprint and move much further than either of the core characters can usually move because you've got the appropriate aspect. So how far?
I want to get as far as I can get because I'm hoping to be able to see something that I can use to make a bigger explosion in my mind.
Right. So as you go running forward, I will move the fog of war away a little bit, and you will indeed see that there is a dropship behind them. So I'm just going to.
I want to stop as soon as I know that there's a dropship there and can throw a mine at it to.
Okay. I'll say dropship, drop pod, should I say? I've got not too confusing my words. Right. So you can basically run past these guys. Just going to get rid of the fog of war as you go. Be gone, fog of war. Be gone. Right. Okay. I'm not going to get rid. There we go. Right. You can see the drop pod there. Apparently this mouse drag fails the dragon dropping. Right. That's my problem. So the Danjuma runs over to the drop pod, and you can take cover behind this one below.
Yep.
And then lob it. So basically, you've got a high enough dropping ability so you'll be able to lob it next time. However, you've used your 2 abilities right now, so you will basically get into cover and then you'll be able to lob the thing next time and blow them up because you've only got the 2 abilities to use because you go use the brain cast. Now this is where if you're doing a normal Island of the Core game and you had a glory point, you can use glory points to have extra beats in place. But I'm just doing it without. So yeah, we'll just move you. Do you want to be so they can see you and come towards you, or do you want to be like out of the way for now?
Oh yeah, I don't want because I want to be able to get this thing to blow up and hopefully, no, you know what? I want them to see me because I'm on suicide mission. Yeah.
In that case, I'll leave you right by this drop pod down here, having ran a great distance as you've got the remaining people left in a big swarm over here as you run that way.
Come and get me, you spider arm rebel scum bucket things.
Yeah, you tell him, man.
You see, Dennis, that's a real Marine, Dennis. That's a real Marine.
Up to save my squad. I love the Corps.
I love the Corps.
As you hear "Hoorah!" from the bridge crew, who are ready to fire, and then they've just seen like about 30 of these things devastated within a very short amount of time, and then in the last few seconds you officially take out quite a few more, and this one guy just goes charging off. These guys over here were inspired by this action and will open fire themselves. You see them shooting at this group of people to the right hand side. You see bullets and pistol shots definitely hit, but they just don't seem to be scratching these things. But these things aren't bothered by that. Oh no, they see Danjuma. So I'm going to roll for my movement.
I was wondering, Chris, I'm just conscious of the time here, and me and Sid have actually got to go somewhere in a little bit. Could we maybe wrap this up now? As soon as we're running over?
Yes, indeed. Well, basically, there should be a big boom in a moment, so we'll see how we go with that. I'm just going to see what my guys do.
Sure.
10. So, yeah. They come running in. Oh, God. Right. Yeah, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, the big swarm of these things are going to surround Danjuma. However, he's got high enough on his passive abilities that as they try and swing at him, he starts cutting limbs off left, right, and centre with his blade, and then drops the sword and then goes ready for the contact mine, and that'll be his go. Right, at this point, and then there's just 2 or more of these creatures left here. They are going to try and attack Korba, but he's got very high, so he will shoot back at them as these 2 things like run at him, and you see the bullets punch through them. The one bullet punches through the chest, and Korba will see the organs inside this, what was once the human. As you can see, that all the internal organs have just turned into gestating sacs. As you can just see all these creatures starting to rip and tear their way through the organs inside this guy's body. The Korba just shoots and shoots and shoots at them and blows them apart as these things start like flopping down to the floor around it. It's at this point where swarms of converters will burst out around Korba, and then more of them will burst out around Danjuma. So at this point, I'm going to go straight to Axe. Please give me your brain roll and add your brain score, and we'll see how big your boom is.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to use. I mean, I assume I can set off everything that's on me with contact, demolition, and plasma charges.
Yep.
The whole shebang.
Yep.
It's an 8.
8. Okay, I'm going to give you a +2 bonus because you're covered in explosives and you're setting them all off. So this will be a total of 10. These guys are within short range, so their total of 10 means nothing. So essentially you've got 9 success levels, which is enough damage to blow all of them and you to shit. Please describe your glorious take them all out demise. You blow up 3 of the drop pods that are all around each other, and the resulting explosion, it kills all of the hosts and all the converters inside them. But please add anything that you wish to add.
Come and get me, you bastards! And as they're swarming up me, I'm covered with spiders, and I'm gonna have to get lower.
Okay.
I give this as I'm covered with spiders.
And then the sergeant looks down as the creatures surround him, as he just has this blanket of converters coming around him. Sergeant, would you like to, as you had your powerhouse to defend, would you like to detonate another EMP?
Yeah, he looks over and he says, "No, not another private, take me instead!" And then detonate an EMP on his chest.
As he detonates the EMP, as all the spiders are crawling over him, as you watch him, he gets encompassed in this blue electrical field, as then all of the things twitch and drop, and all the things just fall off the Sarge one by one. As your armor turns off, as your HUD just goes black, and all your magnetics turn off, and all your guns drop off you. But you're fine, because it's an EMP. It does make you incredibly ill, however, as you will at the full force of radiation. It does have a non-lethal effect. So we'll cut to the Sarge as the Sarge collapses to the floor as he's hit himself with the full force of his own grenade, as he just pops up his visor and starts throwing up everywhere. Well, all of the converters have been destroyed. We cut to the bridge crew as they go, "Hurrah! We love the car!" As all of the bridge crew march out, followed by the Admiral, who you've saved. "All right, Marines, get into the remaining drop pods. We're out of here. Thank you for the save, Sergeant," he says to you once you've finished retching on the floor. He looks over to where Danjuma destroyed himself. "That was one heck of a Marine. You shall all follow in his footsteps," as he says as he looks at Henderson and Dennis. Dennis still clinging on to Henderson, possibly.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It was my pleasure.
Mine too.
The Admiral just looks and raises an eyebrow. "Sergeant, you might want to have this one checked out." He points over at Dennis. I believe she's suffering
Dennis,
some
next time you
psychological
can be so
effects.
lucky.
Right. Well, we can ensure they get to a med lab. Everybody into the drop pods. At which point the scene will close to darkness. We cut to you guys as you get into your own drop pod. You can see the bridge crew get into their drop pods as they're launched out from the ship. You see around the planet of New Start pieces of debris cluttered through space as the drop pod settles down towards the planet. We see this planet covered in cities and domes. This planet, the cities have been covered with these big giant metallic, what look like metallic spheres, these big metallic pylons. As you fly down through the atmosphere, you see that the planet is aflame. You can see lots of people moving across the landscape. They're not moving like people anymore. As you see dozens and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people just crawling up the mountains, up the walls, up the ceilings, as you see these pylons open and open outwards as more millions of these spiders pour out of them and drop down onto the planet. As the dropship comes to land, you look and see this blanket and sea of people come towards you as the final dramatic music of the film will kick in. Any final lines from the Marines as they look down at this valley filled with hundreds and hundreds of converted people?
We all just look at one another, single tears running down our eyes as we say, I love the core.
Fades to black.
As the
Juma's thumb is still sitting on the deck.
Nice. As the film will fade to black and the end credits will roll. Thank you very much, everybody.
Nice. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank
Awesome
you.
game.
I'm sorry, my Roll20 map skills are slightly lacking, but
Not at all, no worries, my friend. Well, thank you guys for sticking by and watching us. If you want to learn more about I Love LaCour, and you can do, there's a link in chat for you guys to kickstart a campaign there, but it is very late for all of us, especially for Chris there in the UK.
Yes.
So we do have to wrap things up, but I do want to give you guys your times for plugs and hooks and stuff like that. So, Mike, what do you do on the internet, my friend?
I do the same thing ERP does, but I do it the more American way. There's beer and Eagles, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we do have a 12-hour stream on Sunday, so come check us out.
Awesome. Chris, you do things. Do you not? Where can we find I Love LaCour, and why should we go and check it out?
okay, so I've got ilovethecore.com, which is my website. There's also a Kickstarter link, so if you go onto Kickstarter and look for I Love the Core, you will find it there as well. Or go onto ilovethecore.com. My Kickstarter link is on the front page, so that's nice and easy to remember. It is something that I created for my friends at uni like 10 years ago. Since then, I've run it at lots of conventions. People have really enjoyed the game. For me, it's about kind of, responding to the fanaticism that my friends have had. But as a game itself, I'm proud of the kind of simple mechanics. You only need to use a D6, which I do remember was mentioned earlier that people liked. The fact that it isn't just all about dice rolling. I know that, as you guys had, people want to instinctively roll at everything. But, I've tried to create a system that's nice and flexible. You've only got 8 core abilities, and you can do for like a multitude of things. There are things that are a lot easier to do for me when I'm in person. But hopefully I've shown that the game is all about trying to create a film and the cinematics, which is why I didn't have the entirety of a map of the spaceship for everybody, because it's more about choosing the important elements of that, where you want to go and what you want to do. And as you guys showed, you can kind of control the way a scene goes by going, right, cool line, cut there. It makes it easy for the GM to control what's happening and when. And when it comes to bad guys, like I said, one big massive total is just used for an entire horde. It's slightly quicker, and I've not got to drag and drop and reveal a bunch of guys. So thank you for bearing with me on that one. The Roll20 thing slowed down a little bit. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope people enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, my friend. I'd love to play again sometime. Tour Score.
I just hang out on Twitter and once in a while here with Will. So we'll be hoping to see more of you. And like I said, going to be working on my own campaign for later, but not quite there yet. I'm just hanging out. Glad to be here.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, thank you guys for coming along, and thanks to Chris for running this game with us. We will be back. Tomorrow is Thursday, so I'll be doing 1 till 4. It's also mine and Sid's 1 year, so I will not be doing the 4 till 7. So we'll be hanging out and chilling and doing stuff. So we'll see you again at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. if you're in Europe, and we'll see you guys then. But until that time, go check out I Love the Core. And try not to roll too many net ones, because we want to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody, and thank you for watching. See you soon.
Night.